Mike Anderson's Huskers were up against the nation's top-ranked team, and despite dropping 2 of 3, Nebraska did produce an impressive win to close out the weekend on Sunday. It's a crucial time in the Big 12 as the conference championship draws near and makes this weekend very important as the Aggies of A&M visit the Huskers. Matt Dagan sends it deep to right. Look at the dive by Rebels to keep it going.
Smack this one, this could go.
Hey, there's no mercy in this sport.
Morris slices it towards the gap. It's all the way to the wall.
NETV Sports, in association with College Sports Television, is live from Hawks Field at Haymarket Park in Lincoln, Nebraska for NCAA baseball. Today, the 19th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers host the 10th-rated Texas A&M Aggies. Hi again, everybody. I'm Kevin Kugler, and welcome to Hawks Field at Haymarket Park in Lincoln, Nebraska for what should be a fantastic game. Game number 2 of a 3-game series between these two very evenly matched teams, both in the Big 12. Very good defensively, very good offensively, and very good pitching teams. Might have a pretty good ball game today between Nebraska and Texas A&M after Nebraska won Game 1 last night here in Lincoln. Working with me is my partner, Adrian Fiala. And, Aid, we got a great pitching performance last night. Should have another one today between Phil Sherrick and Zach Jackson.
Two of the very best in Big 12 on the mound today, Kevin, with Jackson 6'5", 220 pounds, Sherrick 6'3", 210. Maybe we'll have to reinforce that hill today. I don't know. We'll have to see. But both of them can throw it in the low 90s. They both throw a lot of strikes. We should see a lot of strikeouts today. They both love the K. Two of the top pitchers in the Big 12.
A lot of similarities between these two teams, including, the way they started their season.
You bet. They both started out very, very hot. Nebraska, their best start in 23 years, Kevin, but they've kind of hit a mid-season slump here. Both teams kind of searching for the right answers right now. They're both perched in the middle of the Big 12 looking for that postseason seed. And this game and the games thereafter, very, very important to both teams. So A&M and the Huskers both looking to beat each other up, but also looking for the seeds that come in the regional tournament.
Nebraska and Texas A&M battling for a great position in the Big 12 tournament. That battle intensifies today. It's the Aggies and the Huskers next on NETV Sports and College Sports Television.
This CSTV program is brought to you by Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I love to run, and it's not a problem. The hair goes with me when I run.
I would always wear a hat, even in the pool.
My tennis game has improved. I don't know, it just feels like I'm always acing the guy.
Hello, I'm Dr. John Parker. Hair loss is an all too common problem, but finally there's good news.
The Parker solution to hair loss?
No, I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
My favorite college sports moment is that one play where Doug Flutie, he's like running off to the sideline, and all these big fat guys are running around, and he just wings that pass down the sideline, and the guy it was really cool.
Log on to CSTV.com and tell us your favorite college sports moment.
You should have seen it, but you didn't, maybe, I don't know, but it was really cool.
Hi, I'm Catherine Tappan with CSTV's 247. Here's what's going on. As the weather gets warmer and the days grow longer, campus life starts to get a lot sweeter. Here are some ways students are keeping busy around the country. Students at Penn State University are moving into the warm months with a delicious way to cool down. The University Creamery offers homemade ice cream treats to tempt your palate and destroy your diet. The ice cream is so fresh, the store's slogan is 4 days from cow to cone. Bill Clinton's favorite flavor? Peachy Paterno. And recently, thousands of students from the University of Texas and Texas A&M gathered in Austin for the 26th annual Spam-orama. The festival, honoring the resilient meat product Spam, consisted of a Spam Jam and hosted contests such as the Collegiate Spam Relay. The Spam cook-off was dominated by a dish dubbed Queer Pork for the Straight Fork. And in South Carolina, the title of Mr. USC was recently awarded. The bodybuilding competition, now in its 25th year, pits the pecs of USC's finest. Apparently, good things come in small packages. At 154 pounds, freshman poli-sci major Patrick Kelly was the smallest competitor, but he was cut above the rest. That's what's going on. I'm Catherine Tappan with CSTV's 247.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better than baseball.
You got your tickets, come on in.
The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
The friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the lady.
People cook their meals out there and it's like a big tailgate party. Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On college sports television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
Haymarket Park, Hawks Field, Lincoln, Nebraska. Pretty good day for baseball. A light breeze, bright sunshine, though, through most of the ballpark today as the fans make their way into another Big 12 battle here at Hawks Field for what is really a critical battle for both of these teams. Texas A&M and Nebraska very even in the standings, trying to make their way up towards the top, and this is a big series for both of these teams here in Lincoln. Nebraska won Game 1 last night, 4-1, behind a great pitching performance from Zach Kroenke. The weather today, well, you can see the light breeze blowing, and it's blowing from left to right across the field. 59 degrees, partly cloudy skies, the north-northwest wind at 12 miles per hour, 35% humidity. We saw some high clouds move through earlier. They're still around, but really no threat of rain at this point. Looks just like a good day for baseball. Flags, of course, at half staff here in Lincoln. Earlier this week, Nebraska lost to one of its own. Jenna Cooper, soccer player, was shot and killed earlier in the week. We'll have more on that and a special tribute to Jenna Cooper later on in the broadcast. Texas A&M at 33-14 this year, 9-9 in the Big 12 Conference, and number 10 overall in the country. Sends this lineup out to face Phil Sherrick today. Cliff Pennington leads it off. Kobe Mavrolas bats second. Corey Patton batting third. Austin Boggs bats in the cleanup spot and plays third base. Craig Stinson, the catcher, will bat fifth. John Infante, the center fielder, bats sixth. Andrew Baldwin will be eighth today and bats seventh. Travis Bartek, the left fielder, batting eighth. And Matt Alexander into the lineup today at second base for the Texas A&M Aggies. Defensively for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, from left to right in the outfield. In left field, Jesse Boyer. Colin Shockey in center. Daniel Bruce in right. Alex Gordon at third. Joe Simakaitis, the hero of last night, with a 3-run homer at short. Jake Molinax at second. Curtis Ledbetter at first. John Gross behind the plate. And on the hill, the big right-hander, Phil Sherrick.
Phil Sherrick, the junior right-hander, 6'3", 210 pounds from Minot, North Dakota. There you see the stats for Phil. 5-0 with a 302 earned run average last time out. Good job against Missouri and trying to bolster those numbers. Actually, his last decision against Kansas State, I beg your pardon, won that ball game. So we're ready to go.
Cliff Pennington will stand in, and the first pitch in there for strike one. Both of these pitchers like to work quick. Zach Jackson for A&M and Phil Sherrick for Nebraska. And Sherrick ready to go on the 0-1 delivery to the left-handed batting Cliff Pennington. And he misses low for a ball. Pennington, the sophomore from Corpus Christi, Texas, second leading hitter on this team, and hitting .342 on the year, 4 homers, 27 RBI. The 1-1. Strike 2 over the outside corner. The home plate umpire, Patrick Spieler. First base today, Chris Koski and Randy Bruns, man's third. The umpiring crew today as assigned by the Big 12 Conference. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Pennington. Chopper foul down the third baseline. Gordon scoops it up in foul ground and will hold at 1-2. Alex Gordon, the fantastic young third baseman for this Nebraska Cornhusker team, got a wonderful honor this week, being named as a person who could try out for the Team USA honors. What honors indeed for Alex Gordon.
Absolutely, Kevin. Just one of 3 Big 12 players to be invited to the trials in Durham, North Carolina. Wish him the very best. The last time it happened for a Nebraska player, Paul Myers actually made the ball club. Shane Colmier was invited but couldn't attend because of the broken jaw that he suffered in the regional tournaments. But Alex Gordon, deservedly so, having a great year, just a sophomore.
The 2-2 to Pennington, chopped right back to Sherrick. Nice pickup on the short hop, and he lobs it to first for the out. Earlier today, Mike Anderson, Nebraska's head coach, talked about his big right-hander, Phil Sherrick.
Phil Sherrick's a big, strong right-handed pitcher for us. One of our best arms on the team. Does a great job getting his off-speed over for strikes, and if he does that, he's real effective, and the fastball's pretty lively, gets underneath hands, and creates a lot of ground balls. If he does that, he's going to be very good today.
Kobe Mavrola stands in and looks at a pitch high from Schierick for ball one.
Saw the ground ball up the bat of Pennington, and again, Phil Schierick throws that fastball that will come up in about the 91-92 area. Keeps it down. Good pitch right there, just misses. But Kevin, he throws that fastball, keeps it down very well. That's why Mike talks about a lot of ground balls. Actually, his last time out was against Texas, had a strong outing, no decision. His last decision, however, came against K-State back first part of April. It was a good pitch right there by Phil.
That Texas game last Saturday went 5 scoreless and then ran into some problems in the 6th as you look at the fastball over the outside corner for a strike. Ran into some troubles in the 6th, and Mike Anderson took him out before he could suffer the loss. Nebraska did eventually fall in that game last Saturday down in Austin as Texas won the series 2 games out of 3.
5 innings, 4 strikeouts, just walked 1 batter, and gave up a couple of runs.
Mavrolas fouls it back, and the count is full 3-2 on Kobe Mavrolas, one of the hotter hitters on this A&M squad. He's hit safely in 14 of his last 17 games, a robust .364 average during that spell. The 3-2 pitch. Mavrolas chops it on the ground. Tough play for Ledbetter. The flip over to first. Schierick is there and in time for the second out. Nice play by both Ledbetter and Phil Schierick hustling to the bag.
Tough play for the first baseman, Curtis Ledbetter. But he is golden out there with that glove. Just 1 error this year by Kurt. Watch him here. He's going to knock it down with a backhand, as you call it, Kevin. But then he's got to scramble. Usually when you knock it down, sometimes the ball just drops right down and you make an easy play. That ball skittered away right there, and he had to really scramble. The big guy had to scramble to make the play. He did, and a great job by Schierick to get over and cover first. So excellent all the way around for the second out.
1-0 on Corey Patton, the senior, who is red hot. Last 8 games, 5 homers, 11 RBI, hitting .305 on the season. Leads this team with 7 home runs and 47 runs batted in. And Schierick with a good first strike.
Good 2-seam fastball on the outside corner, moving away from the hitter.
The 1-1 on Patton. Chopped foul, and quickly Patton behind 1-2.
Yeah, but one of those home runs, there's Mark Jackson, head coach. Had a chance to talk with he and Jim Moore, pitching coach, earlier today. Wonderful people, good baseball people, but just good people all the way around.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Patton. Flared it foul again. 1-2 the count on Corey Patton. Corey Patton out of Seward County Community College came into A&M last year. His second team all Big 12. Hit .331 a year ago with 13 homers, 58 runs batted in. He was the only Aggie to start and play every game last season. Good stop by Gross, the 2-2 pitch. Forthcoming here from Phil Schierick is a good look at John Gross, one of the leaders on this Nebraska team. He's struggled at the plate, but not behind the plate this year. And the 2-2 fouled away again. Corey Patton has some familiarity, at least with one of the members of this Nebraska baseball team. He played this past summer with the Liberal BJs down in the Jayhawk League. Zach Cronky, pitcher he saw last night, also on that team. Patton sends that one to right field. Coming over quickly is Daniel Bruce, and he'll play it on the short hop. Patton with a wide turn at first, but he'll hold with a 2-out single.
Maybe he would go extra base, but a good job by Bruce. Bruce, excellent speed in the outfield. As you see Patton here, he's thinking this is probably going to be in the gap. I'm going to go for the double, but Bruce with that great speed knocks it down. Again, he keeps the ball in front there. Now, if that ball gets by, center fielder Colin Shockey is there to back up, but Patton's probably taken off for second base. He's probably standing at second base right now, but good job by Bruce to knock it out, keep it in front, keep the runner at first, and keep him out of scoring position.
First strike into Austin Boggs, freshman from Pflugerville, Texas, .346 average on the year. That leads the Aggies. 4 homers, 38 RBI. Just a true freshman and a fantastic first year down at College Station, but Boggs quickly behind, 0-2.
I love where he's from, too, Kevin. Pflugerville, Texas. That's the best.
Well, it's fun to say.
It's like Pflugerville Slugger, you know? Close to that Louisville Slugger, but Pflugerville is just a wonderful name. Love it.
Austin Boggs, whose grandpa had a much more pedestrian name, J.L. Smith. He was a pitcher for Texas, was the College World Series MVP in 1953. They lost that game. Still was named the MVP. Michigan actually won the title that year.
Tell you what, when you're MVP, you lose in your MVP. You're pretty good.
Yeah. You've had a good series.
Old JL. A lot of Texas baseball in that family.
I don't know how that would sit with Grandpa.
The
grandson's playing at A&M.
His dad played in the minor leagues for Atlanta and for the Texas Rangers.
Chopped right back up the middle. Simakaitis near the bag. The throw to first in time, and that retires the side. Good play by Simakaitis on a hot shot up the middle. And the Aggies get one hit and lead one and go down quietly in the first.
Second great play in the series by Joe Simakaitis. Last night, a very similar play, although he had to go a longer distance to make it, and just got the runner at first by a hair, but a great play by Jolton Joe over there at shortstop.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers 30-12 this year, 9-7 in the winners of 4 in a row. Send this lineup out. Colin Shockey, the center fielder, will lead it off. Daniel Bruce batting second and playing right field. Alex Gordon batting third. Curtis Ledbetter, the cleanup hitter. Jake Mullinax has had a good year at the plate. He bats fifth. John Gross in the number 6 slot today. Jesse Boyer batting seventh. Tyler Vaughn bats eighth. And Joe Simakaitis, last night's hero, with a 3-run homer to win it 4-1. He bats in the 9 spot. For Texas A&M defensively, a very good defensive team in the outfield from left to right. Travis Bartek in left, John Infante in center, Corey Patton in right field with a good arm, Austin Boggs at third, Cliff Pennington, great range at shortstop, Matt Alexander at second, Kobe Mavrolas at first, Craig Stinson behind the plate. When you talk about big pitchers, there's a big one on the mound. 6'5", 220-pound left-hander, Zach Jackson.
Transfer from Louisville in Conference USA. Big left-hander, as Kevin said. This will be his 12th appearance, 8-3 on the year. There are the current numbers. 2 times this year he has been Big 12 Pitcher of the Week. In his debut, as we said at the top of the show, he threw a no-hitter against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And Kevin, we talked about throwing strikes. In that ball game, the first he faced 29 hitters. He threw a strike to the first 23 people that he faced. First pitch was a strike. So this guy loves to throw strikes. He'll go to that 92-mile-an-hour fastball to get people.
Well, if you're unfamiliar with Hawks Field at Haymarket Park, let's take a look at the dimensions of the field that the Nebraska Cornhuskers have called home for the last few years. 335 down the left field line, 403 to the cutout in left center, 395 to straightaway center, 400 to the deepest part of right center field, and 325 down that right field line. Here at Hawks Field, Haymarket Park, Nebraska's home, where they have been very, very good, and Texas A&M has had problems beating the Huskers here at Haymarket Park, Hawks Field. So we'll see what happens here today. Nebraska with a good first inning out of Phil Shurik, and now the Huskers will take their first swings at Zach Jackson. As they'd mentioned, the transfer from Louisville, very good pitcher at Louisville, just wanted to test himself at a higher level, he said. So he came in here, got the opportunity to play at Texas A&M, and has had a fantastic start to his A&M career.
Kevin, he was 3rd all-time in wins at Louisville, 17-9 for his career there. He wanted to step it up in his career. He got his release from Louisville, came on down to Texas A&M, and they welcomed him with open arms as he's about ready to get underway against Shockey.
Colin Shockey, the left-handed hitter against the left-handed pitcher, looks at a strike. Shockey, 326, no homers, 20 RBI. Stands awfully close to the plate, and he leads the team this year in hit by pitch. He's got 15 flunkings this year. That's always a dubious category and a painful category to lead the team.
Yeah, you better wear your armor up there when you're getting hit that many times. He and Daniel Bruce, favorite targets in college.
Jackson ready, and the 1-1 to Colin Shockey. Broke outside, a little too far outside. 2-1 to count on Shockey.
You know, that hit by pitch factor. There's Mike Anderson, the head coach here at Nebraska. Great job that he has done. Big 12 Coach of the Year last year in his first year. But Colin Shockey, his pitch is on the way here. Swings some fouls back to the screen. You know, he is a leadoff hitter, Kevin. He has a .450 on-base percentage, 4th of the Big 12. And that's part of the process. So, of course, you want to get the base hits. But also, you know, you're going to get hit by the pitch a few times. And he's taken it quite a bit. He does stand very close. He and Daniel Bruce. We'll see Bruce when he comes up. They're right close to that inside line. Here's the next pitch.
The 2-2 is Shockey. Hop foul. Coming over from third is Boggs. Makes the catch in foul ground for the first out. And earlier today, Texas A&M's head coach Mark Johnson talked about Zach Jackson, his pitcher.
Well, Zach's a transfer. He came in out of University of Louisville and came in this year, and obviously it was an outstanding pitcher for them, outstanding for us. Been a constant weekend pitcher for us. He's a tall, strong, left-handed pitcher, can throw with some velocity. He's got a changeup and a curveball that when he's throwing good, he'll mix in all three of those. He's predominantly a fastball pitcher, can work inside to hitters, and gives us a good chance to win ball games.
Zach Jackson, he mentioned that curve, and that's been the one struggle, I guess, if you could say Zach Jackson has struggled this year, and he's had a very good season. It's been an inconsistent curveball. Bruce, though, popped that one straight up in the air behind home plate, and a second consecutive foul out as Stinson puts away Daniel Bruce quickly. 2 down here in the Husker first.
Kevin, I talked to Jim Lawler, the pitching coach for A&M, at length before the ball game, and he said that Zach Jackson just has the attitude, and that's what he really likes about him the best, is his attitude as a pitcher. He believes he can get anybody out. He throws a lot of strikes, and he believes he should be a very high draft choice this year as a junior. And he's been able to cope with the things that people cope with in their junior year to deal with all of that. So, as he will now cope with Alex Gordon, Nebraska's leading hitter.
Gordon at .390 on the year. 15 homers, 62 RBI, leading the Big 12. He is threatening to win the Triple Crown this year in the Big 12 Conference. Average and RBI already has the lead. He's one back in the home run race. And a strike in there to Gordon. 1-1 the count on Nebraska's sensational sophomore Alex Gordon.
Little let-up pitch just right there, right about. He's just measuring it right now, trying to get a good look at the pitch and read the pitch and get used to the pitcher. And he takes that one outside. 2-1.
Alex Gordon on a 13-game hitting streak. Went 1 for 3 last night. During that streak, hitting well over 400, 422 with 4 homers and 18 RBI. The 2-1 to Gordon. Little looper into foul ground again, and Boggs puts it away to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down in the Nebraska first. We're through 1. No score in Lincoln.
There is really only one boy. One girl. One tree. One forest. One deep, dancing ocean. One mountain calling, one handful of sand through our fingers, one endless sky overhead, and one simple way to care for it all. Please visit earthshare.org and learn how the world's leading environmental groups are working together under one name, EarthShare. One environment, one simple way to care for it.
It's important to practice the way you play, and in women's lacrosse that means playing with a legal stick. An easy way to tell if your stick is legal is to make sure that you can see the tip of the ball over the sidewall. 2 things to remember while passing and catching is 1, while catching, make sure that you give with the ball, and while passing, make sure you follow through to your target. On 2 feet. That's why it's vital that you must be able to pass and catch on the move. Some things to remember. Always keep your stick up. Give a good target. Keep your eye on the ball and always be ready to catch. In today's game of women's lacrosse, less and less players have a weak hand. I'm right-handed, but in order to get my left-hand side as strong as my right, I did double the reps. A good way to get a lot of catches and throws in is by playing wall ball or with a partner. But no matter what you do, it's important to have both sides equally strong. For CSTV Lacrosse, Between the Lines, I'm Sam Sandwich.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better than baseball. If you got your tickets, come on in. The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
The friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the ladies. People
cook their meals out there, and it's like a big tailgate party.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On college sports television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
With football a fading memory and hockey approaching its final face-off, one sport emerges to stake its rightful claim as King of Spring. Warriors clash on the field of battle, unrelenting in their mission, driven by their desire to excel and savor the honor of being crowned victors. Watch the epic unfold on CSTV. Lacrosse, the King of Spring.
Haymarket Park, Hawks Field, Lincoln, Nebraska, where the banners of Nebraska's championships in years past, and just a lot of recognition for one of the great ballparks in the Big 12 Conference. No score through one inning. Along with Adrian Fiala and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Kugler. Glad you're joining us throughout the state of Nebraska on NETV or across the country on college sports television today. We're certainly happy to have you join us for some college baseball in a critical Big 12 Conference series between these two teams ranked in the top 20 nationally. Craig Stinson, the catcher, will lead it off. And he waves and misses at the first pitch from Phil Shurik. Stinson out of Rhode Island. Don't see too many guys make it down to Texas from Rhode Island, hitting .299, 2 homers, 31 RBI.
That is sort of unusual for a Cranston, Rhode Island product to come down to College Station to play baseball, Kevin, but he has made it there. Played at Bishop Hendrickson back home. Excellent defensive catcher, as Kevin talked about a moment ago.
Quickly behind, though, 0-2. Phil Shurik misses outside 1 and 2. Stinson had one of the great thrills in his baseball career. He was a member of a national champion, the Little League national champion, and he hit a home run in the World Series title game against Taiwan. Now, the United States, represented by his Rhode Island team, lost that title game, but Stinson with a thrill that very few ever have, a home run in the Little League World Series championship game. Did he go around to peel the first? No, says Chris Koski down at first, and it's a full count, 3-2.
And given what happens today, as far as early times, breaking ball way outside, no chance of the strike there. But Kevin, I wouldn't doubt it at all that he was on somebody's list right after that happened.
Shockey moved in, now has to back up, makes the catch for the first out. So Stinson flies out to Shockey in center, 1 down in the second inning, and that'll bring John Infante to the plate, the center fielder, who is a very speedy guy both in the field and certainly on the base paths. 275 this year for the sophomore from Coppell, Texas. 3 home runs, 25 RBI. And John Infante takes a look at the first offering from Phil Shurik. It's an off-speed pitch in there for a strike. And Phil Shurik looking very much today like he did in the early going against Texas last Saturday.
Breaking pitch right up on the belt. And great pitch right there. It paralyzes the hitter. Now he comes back. Fastball right on the hands. Phil working hard and working quick and fast with his battery mate back there, John Gross.
Shurik back up on the rubber. He's ready to go. No hesitation for Phil Shurik. And the 0-2. Ooh, just misses outside for a ball.
You know, as a hitter, Kevin, you're up there and you see a pitch like that, 2 strikes, and you almost got to go for it. Infante's got either a great eye or he's very, very lucky. One of the two.
Nerves of steel to take that pitch. The 1-2. Down low for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Good sign for Phil Shurik if you're a Nebraska fan, as he's getting out in front of almost every hitter here, at least in the early going. The 2-2. Down low for ball 3. The bad sign, or a good sign if you're an A&M fan, is that Shurik is coming back to full counts on 3 of the first 5 hitters he's faced.
Yeah, you want to try to reduce your pitch count as much as you can, and Phil started out well with the first 2 pitches for strikes. Now he's working up full.
Infante, a chopper on the ground. Simakaitis took a funny hop on him, and Infante's going to be safe. Is that a hit, or is that the 8th error of the year on Joe Simakaitis? Looked like he should have made the play, and it is an error on Simakaitis.
Yeah, he makes the play without a doubt. It did take some sort of a goofy skip off the field's a little bit wet out there, and it took a little bit of a skip off a dirt clod, or maybe let's see if we can pick it up here. Maybe not. This will be Infante going down to first base, but I don't know if it hit the lip of the grass or maybe skidded on the dirt right there, a dirt clod, but it just took a goofy hop, and Joe was set, ready to make the play. Then the ball went the other direction and constituted the error.
So Joe Simakaitis, who's had a stellar season in the field, just his 8th error of the year, and Andrew Baldwin, the designated hitter, hitting .295, 2 homers, 19 RBI, stands in. Throw to first, and Infante, I mentioned his speed, 7 for 11. That leads this team in stolen bases. Not the speediest team in the world, but Infante's a good... There he goes. Got a great jump. Gross's throw. Bounces in there and not in time. Infante in with his 8th stolen base of the year.
Pitch a little bit down and inside. John looked like he had a problem getting the baseball out of the glove on the steal. And Infante in there in plenty of time. Ball 1 hops. Not a chance, but just a little bit late coming up out of there because apparently the ball got caught up in the webbing a little bit. That'll happen sometimes to a catcher.
1-1 and a wave and a miss by Andrew Baldwin. 1-2 with Travis Bartek waiting on deck. Good off speed here by Sherrick.
You always want to try to work on the transfer, meaning ball in the glove to hand. You work on that in practice a lot so it just becomes automatic, and every now and then you'll get that ball caught in that web. That's why you want to keep those webs tight and make sure there's no wear in the laces.
The 1-2. 2-2 on Baldwin. A 1-out error and a stolen base has Infante at second. The first runner in scoring position today for Texas A&M here in the 2nd inning.
Mark Johnson, head coach at A&M.
The 2-2. Little flare into foul ground. That one's going to reach the berm. And they'll redo the 2-2 pitch.
And the other reason, Kevin, you want to keep the laces taut in a good shape back there in your glove is you're protecting the umpire. That umpire's look at my glove before and say, yeah, okay, you're ready to play. Make sure those things aren't worn out. That ball goes through the trap and right into his throat. You got a problem.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and time is called. Phil Sherrick taking a little more time now as he works with a runner at second base for the first time today. No score, top of the 2nd. 10th ranked Texas A&M, 19th ranked Nebraska here in Lincoln this afternoon. There goes the runner for third. Ball popped up. Shallow center field. Shockey has a beat on it, makes the catch for the 2nd out. So Infante was on the move, but Baldwin pops it up for the 2nd out of the inning.
Run and hit. Infante down base, takes off on the pitch. He was attempting to steal, obviously, or going to try to make that steal, but also the hit was on at the plate, too. And the pop-up came off the bat of Andrew Baldwin, but run and hit was on. Just did not execute it all the way. Big, tall pop-up. Out number 2. Brings up Travis Bartek.
232 on the year, 1 homer, 8 RBI. And pitch a little high for a ball to the junior out of Sparks, Nevada. Transfer from Feather River Junior College. Bartek waiting, the right-hander. And a look back towards second. Infante going nowhere. Mark Johnson, the head coach, looking on. Infante has a great jump. You don't want to make that 3rd out at third base. And the pitch upstairs for a ball. 2-0 now on Travis Bartek.
I really wouldn't think they'd be running this situation, Kevin, just for that very reason. They've got a guy at second base who can move pretty well, and you don't want to run yourself out of getting a potential scoring run out there.
2 balls, no strikes. Strike in there. Good fastball from Phil Sherrick, and it's 2-1.
Phil throwing the good fastball, the good heater, right down the middle. Bartek not able to pull the trigger, just watching it come on by. That runner out there, Infante, just eagle-eyed as to what's happening up at the plate.
Sherrick low with the fastball there. 3-1. And the number 9 hitter, Matt Alexander, waiting for a swing here in the 2nd.
Just watching if the ball is even mishandled a bit by Gross, he's going to go.
Boarded foul into the stands. And a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Travis Bartek.
One thing about Bartek you have to be careful with, Kevin, is even though he's 232 on the year, he's hitting .304 in the conference. And so he knows what to do with the ball bat, no doubt about that, with that kind of number, but just can't get real complacent out on the mound with the number 8 hitter out there that's hitting .304 in the conference.
The 3-2 coming, and time is called. Bartek calling for time and getting time from Patrick Spieler, the home plate umpire. Schurig halfway to delivery.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Infante at second, 2 down in the inning, and the 3-2. High in the air, backing it out, is the second baseman Mullinax. He bobbles it and he drops it. Would have been an easier play for Daniel Bruce, but Mullinax went out to try to make the catch, and it's an error on Mullinax, and the first run scores for A&M.
Good base running by Infante, obviously. It's 2 outs, though. You got to go. You go on anything and keep going. But Bruce has to call Mullinax off the play. He's got priority here. He's got a clear view of what's happening right here. And he's waiting right there, and he just, well, communication is key in the outfield. But if Daniel Bruce thinks he can make that play, he's got to call Jake off.
It's a tough catch, and there goes the runner. Gross has trouble and no play as Bartek gets a stolen base. And A&M very aggressive early in this game. Already 2 stolen bases in the second inning, a 1-0 lead. A couple of errors have led to the run.
Kevin, this is interesting. They've only stolen 39 bases on the year. 39 bases in 47 games. So you wouldn't say they're really a running baseball team, and they have 2 now. They're going to keep running, I think, until the Huskers can make the play. Usually that's what happens with a baseball bunch. You make the play, usually you stop that kind of thing.
Matt Alexander hitting just 133 on the year, chops it to Ledbetter, and Nebraska will get out of the inning. But 1 run scores for the Aggies without the benefit of the hit. 2 big errors for Nebraska. 1-0 Aggies as we head to the bottom of the second.
Invasion of the Bantanas.
Hiding all that laughter, drink some Fanta faster, faster.
Where on earth will they show up next? If you're not having fun, they'll find you.
Hat so hot and furry, you need Fanta in a hurry.
You could be next.
Don't you wanna?
From New York to California, from the Ivy League to the Big Ten, the mayhem has begun. It has the men jumping and the women stretching beyond their means. These collegiate hopefuls will stick together and let their emotions soar. They'll swing for the fences and do whatever it takes to reach the ultimate destination. Championship mayhem. 21 championships, 9 sports, 1 network. All this month on College Sports TV, #1 in college sports.
The University of Arizona. The place to discover. To create. To experience. To make a difference. The place is right here. The University of Arizona in Tucson.
The United States Air Force Academy offers a 4-year education like no other. The Academy focuses on 4 pillars of excellence: academics, military training, athletics, and character development.
All cadets receive full scholarships and a top-rate education in over 30 academic majors.
It's about opportunity, to discover your potential, to be challenged, to become a leader.
The Academy is an NCAA Division I school with more than 24 intercollegiate teams.
The Academy gives you everything you need to reach your highest potential as a leader, an officer, and an individual.
Cadets graduate with a Bachelor of Science degree and a commission as an Air Force officer.
in Nebraska. Not a bad way to while away a spring afternoon. Spend it at Haymarket Park, Hawks Field, sliding down a hill.
That's the best part of the day for that youngster. He's working on his head-first slide. Couple, 3 years to be out there on the field doing that head-first slide, but that's good, just great fun for him.
You'd look at the team comparisons between the Aggies and Nebraska. We told you at the top of the program how comparable these teams really are. Batting average right there, runs and hits. The Aggies with a bit of an advantage. They played a few more games, though. Nebraska a little more power on the stolen bases. Very similar indeed as well. So these two teams very evenly matched, right next to each other in the Big 12 standings, and a 1-0 game on the scoreboard here as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Jake Mullinak's John Gross, 4-5-6 in the Nebraska order, coming up against Zach Jackson, who made quick work of the Huskers top of the bottom of the first inning. And a strike on the outside corner to Curtis Ledbetter.
Crowd not happy about that one, but apparently it catches this outside corner. Can't hardly tell from that shot, but pretty close pitch, but not Ledbetter's pitch, and that's what counts. It's got to be his pitch to hit.
The 0-1 to Ledbetter. Outside for a ball, 1-1 the count. Ledbetter on a good tear over the last 20 games, sitting well over 380 with 6 homers, 25 RBI during that spell. And he started awfully slow this year, but he's back now into a very good pace. And Ledbetter skies that one to right. Corey Patton right in his tracks, backs up a step and makes the catch. Fly ball outs for Nebraska, 3 of them in foul ground. That's the first one they put between the lines today, and their first out of the second.
First well-hit baseball. The others have been just pop-ups. That one was pretty well hit to right field, but again, way, way high as far as the ball been able to travel a distance right to Corey Patton out there in right field. But this young man on the mound will get you out. He'll throw the strikes. We saw that first pitch right on the outside corner. Came back with a breaking pitch, and then put one outside for Ledbetter to go after again. And he popped it up or hit it out to right field.
Jake Mullinak's the second leading hitter on this Nebraska team. Takes a pitch low for a ball. Mullinak's the senior, hitting .359 this year. 6 homers, 31 RBI. And the 1-0 to Jake Mullinak. Strike one call. 1-1 the count. Well, the one thing I like about Zach Jackson, Abe, is, as you talked about, he makes you be aggressive. He's not going to walk you. He's not going to get himself into trouble. He'll throw strikes.
Absolutely, Kevin. That's what coaches like. That's what scouts like about him. That's what baseball likes about him. He throws strikes. The youngster is 6'5" and 220 pounds, and he's going to make somebody a very good pitcher someday in professional baseball. You only hope that his college career will stick around for a few years. You'd love to watch a guy like this. He is a junior. See what happens for him this year in the draft.
17 walks and 77 strikeouts this year. Pretty good ratio. Mullinak's a chopper on the ground. Alexander up with it to throw across in time. 2 up, 2 down, and 5 in a row retired by Zach Jackson, the left A&M, and now he'll take a look at John Gross as we watch the ground out again.
Breaking pitch just coming right into him, and he fights it off to the right side. Routine ground ball for Alexander over there. Zach Jackson, 8-3 on the year, as we showed you at the top of the show. He lost to Baylor and Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. Went 6 innings against OSU and 6 innings against Oklahoma. But each of those teams hit him fairly well. 8 hits for OSU, 11 for Oklahoma. He gave up 7 runs in both of those ball games.
0-1 on John Gross. The numbers not where Gross would like him. He's a career .339 hitter. Comes into today hitting .195 on the year. But a little bit better in Big 12 conference play, as he feels like he's starting to perhaps get his stride in the Big 12.
Hitting at a .298 clip in the Big 12. Last night, John was 1 for 3. That average was just a little bit higher last night, but now at a .298 clip in the Big 12 as that ball gets away from Stinson.
No swing, says the appeal down to first, and Chris Koski says no. 1-2 on John Gross. Jackson trying to make quick work again of the Nebraska hitters. 1-0 A&M, scoring a couple of one run on 2 Nebraska errors. Very Nebraska, the best fielding team, along with A&M in the Big 12 conference, and 2 big errors last inning. The 1-2. Gross will nibber out to short. Pennington up with a good throw across in time, and that retires Nebraska in the second. Again, 3 up, 3 down for the Huskers, and through 2, 1-0 A&M.
Still taking Claritin? Join the millions of allergy sufferers who've discovered non-drowsy Alivert. Quick-dissolving Alivert starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue, without water. Wow, it's gone. So you can take Alivert inside, outside, wherever you are. Try non-drowsy 24-hour relief even Claritin can't beat, without a prescription. Quick-dissolving Alivert. Allergy medicine right when you need it, wherever you are.
Hi, Tito. I hope you enjoy the empanadas and Coke. Love, Mom. Aw.
Hey, man. Something smells good.
Hi, Tito.
Hey, man.
It says here that you can choose from 100 majors at Miami.
Sounds good. Hey, Brian?
Class sizes are small. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? You can study overseas. In fact, lots of students at Miami study abroad. The Fifth Guide, Kiplinger's, and U.S. News all say Miami is a great public university, and there's a lot to do. Intramurals, bands, clubs, Division 1A sports, fraternities, Friday night activities. Of course, you'll be too busy studying, but it's good to know. Ooh, undergrads can do research at Miami. Imagine what you could research, Brian. Brian, the food is good. It says so right here. 97% of the students like the food.
So, Brian, any questions? Pre-med, very strong. Swimming and diving. Internet, 10 megs per second. Application, check. Financial aid forms, check.
I think we made a good decision. You'll just love it here. I think you'll be challenged but not overwhelmed. You'll be well fed and
Huskers hoping they can add another year to that regional appearance banner. They're in good shape to make an appearance. They'd like to make that appearance here at Hawks Field. The Aggies harbor similar hopes as they come into this weekend at 33-14. College World Series as well up there, so glad to have you with us. There's a little bit of history building here in Lincoln. A program being built at Hawks Field at Haymarket Park for this Nebraska baseball team that, well, not even a decade ago, very few people in Lincoln probably even knew Nebraska played college baseball, but now one of the most popular sports in the state.
No doubt about it, Kevin. It really has stepped up the ladder here in the last 5-6 years, and Mike Anderson, part of the coaching crew that Dave Van Horn assembled as the first pitch to the hitter comes on in. We're at the top of the order here with Cliff Pennington.
Pennington, a .342 hitter, grounded out back to the mound his first time up. And the 0-1 to Pennington. Showed bunt and took the pitch low for a ball. 1-1 on Cliff Pennington. Top of the third, A&M leading 1-0 on a beautiful day for baseball in Lincoln. 2-1 on Pennington. Cliff Pennington, he played one of several Aggies to play summer ball with the Harrisonburg Turks, where their famous alum, David Eckstein, made his name with the Anaheim Angels a couple of years ago in the World Series. David Eckstein, a former Harrisonburg Turk. Cliff Pennington hoping his career takes a similar path. The 3-1. Strike 2 called. 3-2 now on Pennington. Pennington, Mavrolis, and Patton here in the third.
Nothing strange about that. It's just a fastball, a good fastball, moving a little bit away from the left-hander. Might have been too safe, but got it up just a little bit, but the left-hander lays off it, and it's in there for a strike. You want to be careful throwing that two-seam fastball left-hander, because a lot of times it breaks down and away, and there's a ground ball out to the left side. Gordon up with it.
Good throw across by Alex Gordon. Good strong arm to get the speedy Pennington. One down in the third.
Sometimes you throw that two-seam fastball to a left-hander and he gets away from you, gets down into his wheelhouse. And that ball, fastball at the outside there, a little bit up. A good job by Alex. He can make that play in his sleep, let me tell you. Good job by the youngster from Lincoln Southeast. There he is. Sophomore. Tremendous baseball player. Kind of running in the same track, I think, Kevin, as Darren Erstad in terms of future. He just has all the tools, all the physical tools, all the mental tools, the work habits, all the things you need to be successful at the next level.
Kobe Mavrolis out in front 2-0 of Phil Sherrick. Mavrolis, a .341 hitter, grounded out to Ledbetter, made a nice play back in the first inning. 3-0 now on Mavrolis. Waiting on deck, Corey Patton, the leading home run hitter on this team. Mavrolis looks at a 3-0 right down the middle for a strike. He played in just 10 games last year with a back injury. And boy, anytime you have a back problem, it's awfully hard to come back at any point. And anybody who's had back troubles knows you're certainly not going to play baseball. He didn't and got a medical red shirt for this year. The 3-1 pitch grounded harmlessly to Mullinax at second for the second out. 2 ground ball outs here in the third, and that's usually, as we mentioned, a good sign for Phil Sherrick.
Keeping the baseball down. Ball sinking down right there, and you hit it on the ground. The ball's down low. You're going to hit it on the ground most of the time. And that's exactly what Mavrolis did there to constitute out number 2 for the Aggies.
Corey Patton with the lone Aggie hit back in the first inning. He was left stranded, and he takes a strike, 0-1. Patton nearing 400 for the average over the last 9 games and strokes a single into center field. Another 2-out hit for Corey Patton. Good looking stroke from the left side for the senior Corey Patton as he's 2 for 2 on the day.
Kevin, he was out of the lineup a couple of games, April 11, April 13. And he has come back with a vengeance since then. Getting out at the 380 clip since then with 5 home runs, 11 runs driven in. He's 2 for 2 here today, and he was 1 for 2 last night. So whatever happened on the bench was a good thing. And he has really heated up the bat and heated up the ballpark.
Austin Boggs looks at a strike. Boggs grounded out to Simakaitis to end the first inning. Boggs, the leading hitter on this team, just as a true freshman. 2 down in the inning. Throw over to first, and Patton, with just 3 stolen bases on the year, not really a threat to go, but sure, it keeps a close eye on him anyway. The 0-1 to Boggs. Off speed into right field. That's a base hit. Patton rounding second. He's on his way to third, and he'll make it without a play. Runners at the corners with 2 out as the Aggies begin a late rally here in the third.
Ball hit right on the nose by Austin Boggs. Ledbetter a little bit handcuffed down there. Could not handle the hot shot. Breaking pitch, and well done by the hitter Austin Boggs. He stayed right up on the ball. Kevin hit the top half of the baseball and just drilled it right past Ledbetter. And in the process, Corey Patton hustled his 5'10", 210-pound frame right around the sacks over to third base. Put himself in great position to come home 90 feet away.
And now Craig Stinson with a chance to lift the Aggies here with a 2-out run-producing hit. Pitch outside for a ball. Stinson flat out to Colin Shockey in the second inning. He's 0 for 1 today. Runners at the corners with 2 out. Aggies with a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third. And the 1-0. Towards center. Shockey's got a beat on it. And he makes the catch, and that retires the Aggies in the third. 2 left on with a couple of hits, and through 2.5. 1-0 A&M.
College is in our immediate future, only not the same one. Florida, Texas, Ivy League. All 3 of us in college at the same time. We need a way to keep in touch. That won't cost us a lot.
With Singular's Family Talk, you can call any Singular customer for free, no matter where they or you are. Add a line for $9.99. Hurry, offer ends June 20th.
We call it our more money for books. Yeah, right. Books. Plan.
Singular Nation Family Talk. Another reason Singular fits you best.
With CSTV's 247. Here's what's going on. As the weather gets warmer and the days grow longer, campus life starts to get a lot sweeter. Here are some ways students are keeping busy around the country. Students at Penn State University are moving into the warm months with a delicious way to cool down. The University Creamery offers homemade ice cream treats to tempt your palate and destroy your diet. The ice cream is so fresh, the store's slogan is 4 days from cow to comb. Built Peachy Paterno. And recently, thousands of students from the University of Texas and Texas A&M gathered in Austin for the 26th annual Spam-orama. The festival, honoring the resilient meat product Spam, consisted of a Spam Jam and hosted contests such as the Collegiate Spam Relay. The Spam cook-off was dominated by a dish dubbed Queer Pork for the Street Fork. And in South Carolina, the title of Mr. USC was recently awarded. The bodybuilding competition, now in its 25th year, pits the pecs of USC's finest. Apparently, good things come in small packages. At 154 pounds, freshman poli-sci major Patrick Kelly was the smallest competitor, but he was cut above the rest. That's what's going on. I'm Catherine Tappan with CSTV's 247.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better in baseball. You got your tickets, come on in. The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
The friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the ladies. People cook their meals out there and like a big tailgate party. Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On college sports television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
Nebraska trailing 1-0 to the Aggies as we head to the bottom of the third. Beautiful Haymarket Park, Hawks Field, where the Huskers play, as they look for their first hit of the game against Zach Jackson, who has been perfect through 2 innings here today. He'll face the lower third of the Nebraska order, Jesse Boyer, Tyler Vaughn, and Joe Simakaitis here in the third.
Kevin, we mentioned earlier about the no-hitter that Jackson threw in his college debut for Texas A&M. And he also had a 2-hitter this year. That came against Kansas April 10th. 2-hit shutout. Struck out 9, didn't walk a batter in that game. So the guy really has a bit of moxie out there, and can't say enough about the young man. 6'5", 220 pounds, well put together.
He's had an unusual season in the Big 12. In that one good outing has always been followed by a shaky outing in Big 12 this year. He's due for a bad outing this week. He was great last week, but so far, he's perfect today.
There's Jesse Boyer, the hitter.
306 on the year, no homers, 18 RBI for Boyer. It'll be Boyer, Vaughn, and Simakaitis here in the Husker half of the third inning. And the first pitch to Boyer is in there for a strike.
Good looking fastball right about letter high right there. Good job. Again, Boyer just trying to get a sense of the speed. What's happening with the pitch. And he looks at another one just. Missouri Jackson, 7 innings, 7 1/3 to be specific. 7 hits, gave up 1 run, struck out 11 and walked just 3. Strikeouts. He throws strikes. Key element in his repertoire.
Good off-speed pitch there. Boyer waving through it. 1-2 on Jesse Boyer. He is on his game right now, is the left-hander Zach Jackson. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the left-handed hitting Boyer. 1-0 A&M leading bottom of the 3rd. 2-2 now on Jesse Boyer. Boyer was recruited out of Littleton, Colorado by some pretty good schools. Arkansas, Dave Van Horn. The recruiting trip to get Jesse Boyer. Oklahoma State, Florida. Came by way of Neosho County Community College in Kansas. And Jackson now with a full count pitch coming as Boyer has battled in this at-bat to get the count full.
Exactly. A good at bat for Boyer, making number 1, making Jackson throw the ball a lot, running that pitch count up, and also getting a good look. Now looking for his pitch to hit.
Inside corner, strike 3 called. The first strikeout of the day, and Boyer the first out of the 3rd.
Man, that ripped the inside corner like you could not believe. Patrick Speed on the home plate umpire, no doubt in this call. Well, he had to get out of the way, but again, our vantage point for as far as the edge goes, Kevin cannot talk about the pitch as far as the edge goes. Close to the edge, close enough for the home plate umpire.
Strike 1 to Tyler Vaughn, the freshman from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Making just his 3rd Big 12 start today, hitting .214, no homers, 4 RBI. And the 0-1 to Vaughn. Wave and a miss, quickly down 0-2.
Jammed him up right there. Jammed him. He went right over the top, as you saw on the replay. That's a great shot, by the way. It's just trailing on into the right-handed hitter, jamming him on the fist. And Vaughn not able to catch up.
No balls, 2 strikes on Tyler Vaughn. Little nubber on the infield. Who's going to make the play? Jackson flips it to first, and Mavrolis is there for the out. Little confusion, but quickly, Zach Jackson off the hill to make the out, and there's 2 down. Joe Simakaitis coming up, and earlier we asked Mike Anderson about the growth of his junior shortstop.
Joe really has developed. I've always felt he's been one of the best defensive players in the entire conference at shortstop for us, and just rock solid there. And he's gone through some strange development. He didn't have a good year his freshman year, and his sophomore year he really improved, and he does a great job at our 9-hole for us. We keep him down there. He's just solid and ended up getting a big home run for us last night.
1-0 on Joe Simakaitis. That home run last night, a 3-run homer, the first home run of the year and the first that Joe has ever hit in his 3 years of playing here at Hawks Field. He's not a long ball hitter. Just his 2nd career home run last night. The 1-0. 1-1. Joe said after the game, well, now they're going to come in bunches. Not sure anyone believes that.
Well, that's a confident hitter. I want to tell you, pitch right there on the outside corner. That's great confidence. Hey, the home runs are coming in bunches now. I like that from Joe. Joe's a good, steady ball player, great defense. He goes for a bad one there. But excellent defense. His freshman year hit .236. Last year hit .293. He's up over 300 for quite a bit of the year, however, last year. And this year he steps in at .303 overall, .250 in the Big 12. But he sets it up well, Kevin. He's just a tough, steady ball player.
Right back. Jackson hit it with his pitching hand, deflected it, throws to first for the out. Hopefully Jackson is okay. That retires the Huskers in the 3rd and through 3. Jackson perfect, and the Aggies lead 1-0.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better in baseball. You got your tickets, come on in. The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
the friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the ladies.
People cook their meals out there and it's like a big tailgate party.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On college sports television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
My favorite sports college moment was when the UF Gators won the championship in '96 when I was a freshman, and it was the best ever.
Log on to CSTV.com and tell us your favorite college sports moment.
Yeah!
Rugby.
Rugby.
Rugby. Rugby. 101.
Mauve.
A loose formation around a player who is in possession of the ball.
And has not been brought to ground. Try. Try.
A method of scoring achieved by touching the ball down in the goal area. Scrum.
A tight formation between two opposing teams.
In readiness for the ball.
In readiness for the ball to be put into play.
Blood bin.
Blood bin. When the player has blood flowing from a wound and must leave the pitch.
Now you know the lingo?
Now you know the lingo.
Now you know the lingo. Use it.
Saturday, May 8th at 7 at the USA Rugby Men's Division I Championship. Student athletes have always played a prominent role in Olympic history. Some have gone on to become legends. CSTV's U.S. Olympic Pursuit, the first year-round television series to provide dedicated coverage to all 39 Olympic sports, showcasing America's future Olympic champions. College Sports Television's U.S. Olympic Pursuit, where the pursuit of the gold begins.
Possession is the name of the game in women's lacrosse. You win the center draw, you win possession. The draw starts the game and follows every goal. If the team wants to control the game, they've got to win that center draw. The key to winning the center draw is quick wrist and good placement. Most players like to flip the ball over their head to a teammate. Sometimes the players on the circle are the most important part of the center draw. As soon as you hear the whistle, you want to be in a position to move to the ball and box out your opponent. Center draw, the key to obtaining possession and setting the tempo in women's lacrosse. For CSTV Lacrosse, Between the Lines, I'm Shan Stanley.
1-0 Texas A&M as we head to the top of the fourth inning. Perfect so far for Jackson through 3, but hopefully not injured at the end of that third inning, Abe.
Absolutely, Kevin. Here's the play again. Simakaitis ground ball, and maybe it got off the palm. If it goes off the fingers, Kevin, sometimes that's a problem. It really is. But might have gone off the palm. We'll see how effective he is later on, or when they come out to defense here later on. So I want to take a moment here to wish you the very best, Kevin. I know you're leaving early here. Maybe going to leave early. You're heading down to North Carolina to be honored as the Nebraska Sportscaster of the Year. And I want to congratulate you, my friend.
Very
well
much.
done and well deserved. Look forward to patting you on the back when you get back and take a look at that trophy, man. That's great work. Way to go.
Thank you very much. And Abe, take us through the middle.
Well, we'll do that as the fly ball comes off the bat of John Infante, and Daniel Bruce very quickly reduces Infante to an out here for the first out here in the fourth inning.
Pretty easy work made of John Infante here to start off the fourth inning for Phil Shurik, who is trying to settle down after a couple of errors led to the only run of the day in the second inning.
Phil has given up a run, 3 hits by the Aggies. Huskers have committed 2 errors. That is an unearned run, by the way, that was given up by the Huskers back in the second inning.
Good pitch in there. Again, the fastball belt high. That's been Phil's consistent pitch all day here. And he has been very solid with that fastball right over the middle of the plate.
The hitter is Andrew Baldwin from Bryan, Texas. The youngster comes in today hitting .295, just 186 in the Big 12. There's a ball hit into the gap, and Bruce is over there. A great running grab by Daniel Bruce in right field for the second out here.
Wade, you talked earlier about the speed of Daniel Bruce in right field, and sometimes you don't see great speed out of your right fielder. You see it at Nebraska, and Bruce taking what looked at least off the bat like it might be a double and just got over there quickly, made an easy play of it.
I really thought it was going to be a gapper, but Daniel got over there. Voted the best arm in the Big 12 by the Big 12 coaches. As the hitter now is Travis Bartek. That's a last name that fits well in this community. Travis Bartek 0 for 1 on the day. He rockets one back up through the middle. Kind of a let-up fastball of some sort of let-up pitch by Schierick, and Bartek hits one again.
Bartek got on by way of the error in the second inning, and he stole second base. And we'll see if Bartek's adventuresome again. But this just a line drive right up the middle. Good solid swing from Travis Bartek, and he keeps the inning alive for Matt Alexander.
Matt Alexander will step in, grounded out his last time up, hitting just 133 on the year. First pitch, good job by Gross to knock it down, and there goes Travis Bartek down to second base. I suspect a wild pitch on that one.
And it is a wild pitch.
So Bartek puts himself in scoring position. John Gross knocks it down. Ball bounced out in front of the plate, and Gross able to knock it down, but not able to keep that runner from moving down to second base on the play. That ball goes right in front of John Gross. Then you probably keep Bartek in order, but it went the other way, went the other direction from Gross. So Alexander now has run the count 1-0, and Schierick up high. Bartek from Sparks, Nevada, or check it, Alexander, beg your pardon, from Arlington, Texas. He is a switch hitter. A great luxury for a hitter to hit from either side of the plate. 2-0 is right on the money. 2 balls and a strike now to Matt Alexander. 5'11", 190. He's a senior.
Good fastball again when Phil has needed that one, a little sink to it. And when he's needed that fastball for a strike, more often than not today, he's been able to come up with that pitch over for a strike.
Steps off, takes a look, maybe a little confusion down there. Gets another sign from John Gross. On the way, 2-1, and up high again. 3-1 now, Phil Schierick.
Well, you don't want to lose Matt Alexander hitting just 133 on the year. And you've got Cliff Pennington, a 342 hitter waiting on deck. This is a big batter to get for Phil Schierick.
Needs to bear down right here, does Phil Schierick, with the 3-1 count. And that's going to be ball 4. So he loses Matt Alexander and brings up the top of the order in Cliff Pennington. I believe that's his first walk on the afternoon. A couple of runners have reached base on air. And now we go to Cliff Pennington, steps in 0 for 2 on the day. A couple of ground outs. Comes in at 342, and Rob Childress will now come out to visit with Phil Schierick and John Gross. 2 outer here, or 2 outs thus far in the inning. And he just wants to make sure they get an out somehow right here, Kevin. That's the main ingredient. And you let 8 and 9 get away with a couple of outs on the board already. That's a bit of a problem. So Rob out there tried to reassure him that you got to throw strikes, but you're not at the top of the order now, so you really got to bear down and get it on the move. As we see activity now, Rob talking to Schierick and Gross, and to our left over here, we don't have it. Activity down to the bullpen.
One of the things, Abe, that Rob Childress will tell you, it just absolutely drives him nuts, is guys that don't throw strikes. You know, if you get hit and they beat you on your best, tip your cap to them and you move on. Rob Childress, though, will tell you the one thing any pitcher on his staff has to do is throw strikes. And a walk to the number 9 hitter who's hitting 133 on the year is going to make Rob Childress pull out a little bit more of the hair on that head.
Just the basics of baseball right there. You have to throw strikes, and especially to a guy who really isn't hitting the ball that well. You challenge them. You make them earn their way onto the bag. And there's a ball that gets away from Gross again. Ball down low. Cliff Pennington, the hitter. Cliff out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Had a 20-game hitting streak in the Big 12 earlier this year. That is the longest in the Big 12 this year. And he's looking to pick up a teammate out at second base, and Travis Bartek. And he hits this one on the nose to center field. Shockey is there to record out number 3 for the Huskers. They dodged the bullet here in the 4th inning. Aggies lead it. We'll be back in a minute.
UConn fans, the Huskies are #1. Now, Sports Illustrated honors the NCAA men's and women's champions, the UConn Huskies, with a fantastic championship package, free with your paid subscription. Start out with a special UConn men's and women's championship hardbound collector's issue, celebrating the Huskies' run to #1. It's gold-lettered and individually numbered, a cherished keepsake you'll treasure forever. Call now and you'll also get this collectible mini basketball designed exclusively for Sports Illustrated, celebrating Connecticut's sweep of the national championships. Both are free when you order 56 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.59 an issue. Save more than 50% off the cover price. When you use your credit card, you'll get another great gift available only from Sports Illustrated. This Connecticut National Championship hat free. Celebrate the 2 best teams in the nation with 3 great gifts from the nation's best sports magazine, Sports Illustrated. Call now.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better than baseball. You got your tickets, come on in. The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
The friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the lady.
People cook their meals out there and like a big tailgate party.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On college sports television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
Rugby.
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 Rugby 101.
Maul.
A loose formation around a player who is in possession of the ball.
And has not been brought to ground. Try. Try.
A method of scoring achieved by touching the ball down in the goal area. Scrum.
A tight formation between 2 opposing teams.
In readiness for the ball.
In readiness for the ball to be put into play.
Blood bin.
Blood bin. When the player has blood flowing from a wound and must leave the pitch.
Now you know the lingo?
Now you know the lingo.
Now you know the lingo. Use it.
Sunday, May 9th at 2, the USA Rugby Women's Division I Championship.
And welcome back to Lincoln, Nebraska here. A great shot of our capital, the capital of this great state. One of the, how about I call it one of the wonders of the United States, Kevin, our state capital. This is the facility here. Haymarket Park, Hawks Field, home of the Nebraska Cornhuskers and the Lincoln Salt Dogs. We welcome our national audience on College Sports TV and also our statewide audience on NETV. Welcome and great to have you with us on a great baseball day here. Temperature in the upper 50s. Breeze blowing from left to right here in the ballpark. What was it, about 15 miles, 10 to 15 earlier, Kevin?
Real nice crowd on hand here today, too. The weather perfect for baseball, and here they are.
And we start out here in the 4th inning. Huskers are down 1-0. Looking for their first hit. Colin Shockey, Daniel Bruce, and Alex Gordon will get it going for the Huskers. First pitch from Jackson in there for a call strike. He does that a lot. He'll come first strike a lot, Kevin, with the hitter.
Well, Abe, you mentioned he started his career with a no-hitter. He's got one going right now. Just threw 3, though.
Little roller out to the shortstop out there, Pennington, and he's up with it, and he makes the play. You have to remember now that the inning ended this last inning. Simakaitis hit a tapper back to Jackson. He took it off his bare hand, and he almost did the same thing right there. It was looking like it might be the same kind of play, Kevin, but ball went by him, and Pennington was able to come up with it.
Just a good play by Pennington. Shockey can get down the line. He juggled it a little bit, but he shows you that good arm, off-balance throw, and Cliff Pennington, who's got great range and a fantastic arm, makes a nice play to retire Colin Shockey for the first out here in the 4th.
Solid ball player at shortstop, Cliff Pennington. As Daniel Bruce pops one up, and that'll be an easy out for Jackson. Out number 2 quickly here in the 4th inning.
Well, so far, I would say Zach Jackson is showing no ill effects from that ball that came right back to the mound. Bruce just dropped the head of the bat. You see that when you drop the head of the bat, the ball will go straight up in the air, and it did. Straight up in the air, fouls out to the first baseman, Cody Mavrolis, and Alex Gordon stepping in.
And earlier today, the head coach, Mark Johnson, talked about Johnson. We'll hear from him in a little bit as that first pitch is out and away to Alex Gordon. 2 outs here. in the 4th inning. Alex Gordon leads this team in just about every offensive category you can have or show. Hitting .323 in the Big 12, 1 for 3 last night in the ballgame. Tall fly ball. The right fielder said, "Where is it?" Corey Patton couldn't see it, and he's going to have to. Yes, he's going to make it right at the fence for out number 3. The ball was hit high and tall. Tough to find. Aggies lead it 1-0. We'll be back right after this.
Ever wondered what it's really like to be a soldier?
What do you got? I have a super up from Alpha Company. Ready to be verified. Verified.
Put yourself in the picture with this free video. You'll see over 200 great jobs in the Army and over 180 in the Army Reserve. You'll also see what skills you learn, how you can earn money for college, even what soldiers do in their free time. Call 1-800-984-ARMY now and get this free t-shirt and your free video. Put yourself in the picture and see what it's really like to become an Army of One.
Free. I fell for it. Sign my family up for a nationwide wireless plan with free mobile-to-mobile calling. Only the mobile-to-mobile calling area was smaller. And if I wasn't in network, not free.
With Singular's Family Talk, you really can call any Singular customer for free, no matter where they or you are. Add a line for $9.99. Hurry, offer ends June 20th.
I call it my "it's free, really" plan.
Singular Nation Family Talk, another reason Singular fits you best.
The United States Air Force Academy offers a 4-year education like no other. The Academy focuses on 4 pillars of excellence: academics, military training, athletics, and character development.
All cadets receive full scholarships and a top-rate education in over 30 academic majors.
It's about opportunities to discover your potential, to be challenged, to become a leader.
The Academy is an NCAA Division I school with more than 24 intercollegiate teams.
The Academy gives you everything you need to reach your highest potential as a leader, an officer, and an individual.
Cadets graduate with a Bachelor of Science degree and a commission as an Air Force officer.
Haymarket Park, Hawks Field here. Texas A&M leading it 1-0 over Nebraska. Texas A&M 1 run on 4 hits. It is an unearned run. Nebraska shutout thus far. Looking for the first run and for their hit. Tell you what, the grounds crew are doing a great job here. This is a beautiful ballpark. We talked about it before. Sub-air system below the field here that drains the water away, and he actually heats the field. The interim manager, I believe, is Jeff Humphrey, who's taking care of business here while a new gentleman is hired, and I think a new individual has been hired. His name slips me right off the... Chuck Ford is a new manager here, but Jeff Humphrey has been taking care of the field since Dan Bergstrom left, and he has done a great job. Followed in his footsteps as we move on into the top of the 5th inning. It'll be Kobe Mavrolas, Corey Patton, and Austin Boggs for the Aggies, and Phil Sherrick is quickly run 1-1 here against the hitter Mavrolas. 3:33 on the year, 0 for 2 on the day thus far. Mavrolas from Abilene, Texas. Takes a strike right there. 6'2", 190. Good sized young man.
Phil Sherrick again with pitch right down the middle of the plate. Caught Mavrolas guessing, and he guessed wrong. Looking for a little something a little harder from Phil Sherrick.
Ground ball out to the left side. Simakaitis up with it. Fires over to left hander, and just, no, they do not. They do not get Mavrolas on the infield shot. It'll be an infield hit for Kobe Mavrolas.
It was a tough play with Simakaitis going deep in the hole, having to get set and make the long throw across the diamond. Let's watch it again as Mavrolas, decent speed as well, and he comes out of the left side of the box with an advantage. Simakaitis to throw across. Very, very close. The tie perhaps going to the runner. And Mavrolas on with a leadoff single.
You know, he did not get all that good a jump out of the box either. And maybe so. Maybe so. First base umpires Chris Koski. And maybe he was safe on that. Little number back to the left side. Simakaitis got to come up with it, but everybody will be safe. Corey Patton collects his 3rd hit of the day. moves up Mavrolis to second.
Boy, Patton is on a tear. He has figured out Phil Sherrick. That one an infield hit. And now activity beginning in earnest in the Nebraska bullpen as Justin Pekarik begins to loosen up down the left field line. So Phil Sherrick in some trouble. Justin Pekarik, the left-hander, loosening in the pen. 2 on and nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning in a 1-0 game.
You've got to get him going in the pen right now with nobody out and runners at first and second. Leading hitter up for the A&M Aggies, Austin Boggs, coming in today at a 346 clip overall. But again, we want to tell you about the Big 12 numbers, hitting just 253 in the Big 12. So he's had a good year overall, but just 253 in the conference as he looks at a first strike. Boggs just a freshman, 5'10", 185 pounds. Came in with a great follow-up. Ball hit to Shockey in the center field, going over his head. Should score a run. Should score 1 run at least. Here comes the throw into home plate, and John Gross is not going to be able to make the play there. The throw up the line as Austin Boggs drills one over the head of Shockey into center field and picks up his 39th RBI on the year and adds to the lead here. Aggies lead it 2-0.
Colin Shockey didn't get a good read off the bat on that ball from Austin Boggs. Shockey waited there for a moment and then began to break back. This was a hanging breaking ball. Boggs tattooed it into center field, and Shockey just didn't get a good read on that ball. Went over his head. Pretty good relay throw into Simakaitis, but not in time. 1-run scoring Mavrolis to make it a 2-0 game, and you got to be careful here. The way Jackson's going, not going to be too many more runs that the Aggies will need.
Infield is in. That ball's in down the right field line. Got to be foul as Daniel Bruce tries to get over there. Great effort by Bruce. You know, Kevin, on that last play, that previous play, Mavrolis was at second base. He had to actually wait at second base to make sure that ball wasn't going to be caught. Because initially I thought maybe Shockey was going to have a chance on it, but there we see the effort by Bruce. And unfortunately not even close to making a play there, but good job by Daniel to hustle over to try to make the play.
Probably fortunate for Nebraska that he didn't make that catch. If he makes the catch, that's an easy tag at third for Corey Patton, and the third run would score.
So Craig Stinson will see what he can do with the ball bat against Phil Sherrick. He's the Aggie catcher as he takes the second pitch outside, runs the count to 1-1. Stinson hit it hard his first time up in the second inning. Fly ball to center field. Also popped one up to center field back in the third. Hitting at a 299 clip coming into the ball game as he takes the pitch down low. 2 balls and a strike to Stinson now. Youngster out of Rhode Island, as we talked about earlier. Baylor series this year had 6 hits against the Baylor Bears. There's a hit right through the right side. It'll score 1 run for sure as Daniel Bruce comes on. Ball be cut down and into the cutoff man as the runner stops at third. That was Boggs, but the runner at third base was Corey Patton. He comes home to score. Boggs moves on over to third base, and Stinson picks up an RBI single through the right side.
Nebraska had the infield in, and that made it a difficult angle for Jake Mullinax at second to come up with any kind of a play on that little shot through the right side. Craig Stinson gets the RBI, his 32nd of the year, and a 3-0 lead, and that tells you what Nebraska thinks of the job Zach Jackson's doing on the mound. A 2-0 game, and they bring the infield in. They don't think they're going to get too much off Jackson today.
John Infante is the hitter now as the first pitch from Sherrick is up tall again. Pekarik continues to warm in the pen and moving at a bit faster clip down there. 3-0 is our score. Infante flew out his last time up, got on an error, stole a base and scored back in the second inning.
Boy, Phil Sherrick pitching for his very existence in this game right now. Still runners at the corners and still nobody out here in what has become a very long 5th inning, and I don't think he's going to throw another pitch as Mike Anderson makes his way to the mound.
That will probably do it here. It will do it for Phil Sherrick and Mike Anderson. And his ball team are going to converge here to the mound, discuss things, as Justin Pekarik will head on in here in a moment as they give him as much time as they can.
Well, while the Huskers make this pitching change, it's been an emotional time in Nebraska this past week. Last weekend, Husker soccer team captain 21-year-old Jenna Cooper was shot and killed in her home in Lincoln. As you can imagine, this has had a huge impact on everyone associated with the university. Her family, friends, teammates. On Tuesday, a memorial service was held for Jenna. The funeral yesterday down in Louisville, Kentucky. And Husker Vision's Kirk Hartman put together a video tribute for the memorial service for this Husker soccer star. And we share this with you now.
Last night I had a crazy dream. Wish was granted just for me. It could be for anything. I didn't ask for money or a mansion in Malibu. One more day with you. One more day. One more time. One more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still. One more day with you. One more day. One more day. One more time. One more sunset, maybe I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still one more day. Leave me wishing still one more day.
Jenna Cooper, a 21-year-old junior from Louisville, Kentucky, majored in mechanical engineering and played defender for the Nebraska women's soccer team, died last Sunday from a shooting at her home here in Lincoln. And once again, our thanks to Kirk Hartman with Husker Vision for allowing us to share his tribute to Jenna Cooper. The family has asked that memorials go to the Jenna Cooper Soccer Memorial Fund in care of the University of Nebraska Athletic Development Office here in Lincoln. She will be missed.
And as was said, Kevin, she's still the captain.
Justin Pekarik on the hill for Nebraska.
Pekarik on the hill, Infante at the plate. And Aggies continue to threaten here with runners of the corners at first base Stinson, at third base Austin Boggs. Infante flew out the last time up, and there's a shot through the left side. Another run home for the Texas Aggies as Infante delivers his 26th RBI on the year and runs the score up 4-0 now. Aggies lead it.
Well, if you're Mark Johnson and the Texas A&M Aggies, the way Zach Jackson has been pitching, at least through the first 4 innings, you are starting to feel a little bit more comfortable as you look at the numbers on Justin Pekarik. 5-1 on the year, 4.73 earned run average in 45 2/3 innings, 48 hits, 29 runs, 24 earned, good control, 11 walks, and 47 strikeouts.
6'3", 220, same size as Zach Jackson for the Aggies of Texas A&M. And a bunt attempted by the next hitter, and that is Andrew Baldwin. And he fouls it back over to the right-hand side. Baldwin 0 for 2 on the day. Junior out of Bryan, Texas. Played at San Jacinto the last couple of years. Those 2 years hit .372. 14 home runs, drove in 50 his 2 years in junior college. And scores around again and fouls it off again. So 0-2 now to the hitter, Andrew Baldwin, trying to move that runner down to third base. And Justin Pekarik throwing the ball, jamming him up inside, Kevin. Good thing for the pitcher to do. Jam him up and in or down and in, and good job by Pekarik to get that done. As Baldwin now stares down at Mark Johnson, the head coach, for the next time. What do I do now? Probably hit away. Looking to do that. Ball just misses on the outside corner.
And Nebraska desperately needing an out here. Already 4-0 with 3 runs in. And Pekarik trying that outside corner. Just misses off the plate. John Gross set up outside and couldn't get the call from Patrick Spieler.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Baldwin now. Had good success in junior college with his team. They qualified for the Junior College World Series both in 2002 and 2003. Got second in 2003. And he was named to the junior college all-star team. Looking for a hit right here. Swings and misses, strike three, and Baldwin is down.
It's a big out for Nebraska here in the 5th inning. You are not looking to add any more runs to that scoreboard if you're the Nebraska pitching staff. But a good breaking pitch diving out of the zone by Justin Pekarik, and it gets the first out.
First strikeout.
And the first out here in the 5th inning, a big strikeout for Justin Pekarik.
Kind of unusual that a Nebraska pitching staff would take it into the 5th inning, Kevin, and not have a strikeout. That was indeed, check it here on the book quick, that was the first strikeout that I show anyway. Pekarik delivers outside to the hitter, Travis Bartek. Bartek singled his last time up. Bartek 0 for 2 on the day. Sparks Nevada product, junior. And he hits this one down the line, and it is going to be a fair ball, no, a foul ball. Signaled by home plate umpire Patrick Spieler as a foul ball. Mark Johnson very quickly looked back at the umpire on the play. He thought it was fair. I kind of had an idea I thought it was fair, but Patrick was going the other way on us, Kevin.
Spieler right there on the call. The home plate umpire's call in this alignment with runners at first and second. He makes the call, and he was right there. Very aggressive and demonstrative call. And not too much argument from Mark Johnson down that third base line.
So Bartek, just a long strike right there. 1 ball, 1 strike as Pekarik spins, steps towards second, no play. Justin Pekarik from Staplehurst, Nebraska. In his 5th year, he is a co-captain for this team. Mentioned earlier, a good-sized young man. Swung on and missed by the hitter Bartek. So Justin Pekarik working on his, hopefully his 2nd K here for Justin. There's a great breaking pitch right there. Went right across the plate, breaking down and in. Hit it right over the top. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Bartek. Strike 3. Travis Bartek goes down, and Pekarik records his 2nd strikeout.
Second consecutive strikeout for the left-hander Justin Pekarik, and again, the good breaking pitch just dropping off the table there. Bartek had no chance at hitting that one, and he can get out of the inning with 133 hitting Matt Alexander at the plate.
Matt Alexander from Arlington, Texas. Takes the first pitch out right on the corner for a called strike. Last year, Matt had the dubious distinction to lead this ball club in strikeouts. Don't really want to lead your team in strikeouts, Kevin.
Never something you strive for.
Little number out front. Pekarik hops on the ball, and that'll do it. But the Aggies pick up 3 runs here in the 5th inning. They lead it 4-0. We'll be back with more college baseball right after this.
With football a fading memory and hockey approaching its final face-off, one sport emerges to stake its rightful claim as King of Spring. Warriors clash on the field of battle, unrelenting in their mission, driven by their desire to excel and savor the honor of being crowned victor. Watch the epic unfold on CSTV. Lacrosse, the King of Spring.
Student athletes have always played a prominent role in Olympic history. Some have gone on to become legends. CSTV's U.S. Olympic Pursuit, the first year-round television series to provide dedicated coverage to all 39 Olympic sports, showcasing America's future Olympic champions. College Sports Television's U.S. Olympic Pursuit, where the pursuit of the gold begins.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better in baseball. You got your tickets, come on in. The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
The friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the ladies. People cook their meals out there and like a big tailgate party. Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On College Sports Television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
Rugby.
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 Rugby. 101.
Mauve.
A loose formation around a player who is in possession of the ball.
And has not been brought to ground. Try. Try.
A method of scoring achieved by touching the ball down in the goal area. Scrum.
A tight formation between two opposing teams.
In readiness for the ball.
In readiness for the ball to be put into play.
Blood bin.
Blood bin. When the player has blood flowing from a wound and must leave the pitch.
Now you know the lingo?
Now you know the lingo.
Now you know the lingo. Use it.
Saturday, May 8th at 7, the USA Rugby Men's Division I Championship.
Beautiful baseball day here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Texas A&M leads it 4-0 over the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Great crowd on hand here this afternoon. Sun has come out. Boy, yesterday was a blustery bad day here in the old heartland, but man, it turned out great today, and the crowd has come out to say hello to the Huskers once again. Great crowds have assembled here all through the year and ever since this ballpark has been built. Haymarket Park, Hawks Field, and great to see that number just
seems like
keep going. And there's Kevin Memorial Stadium. This is a great place to be, ladies and gentlemen.
It seems like every time we're here, there's a great crowd on hand to watch Husker baseball. It has really become a popular sport here in Nebraska. Perhaps second only to Nebraska football.
Well, attendance has just climbed right up the ladder. In '98, they averaged 597, and it just stepped right up the ladder until this year. The average attendance here is 4,362 so far. So, wow. All you can say to that is we have great Husker fans here, and you look around the Big 12 Conference, and we're catching up to lots of those teams that draw so well. Good job by the Husker fans, and they're very hospitable, too, also to the people like Texas A&M, and come in here, and they treat them well. It's a good-natured crowd, and know their baseball well. As we get rolling here, Curtis Ledbetter is the hitter. Zach Johnson on the mound for Texas A&M, and Zach Johnson, my friends, has faced the minimum here through 4 innings.
Well, and you can see with pitches like this. Look at this pitch. I mean, you can't hit that. Curtis Ledbetter and the rest of the Huskers have been baffled by Zach Jackson this afternoon. He has been perfect.
Zach has retired the side through the first 4 innings. Ledbetter trying to break that monotony of sorts. It's not monotony to Zach Jackson or his coaches, but Huskers also would like to break that mold very, very quickly here. Ledbetter on today flew out to right field. Ball hit in the gap in the left center. The left fielder is over there. That's Bartek, and he records the first out here. Fly ball. Again, a gapper, and I thought maybe that was going to work. A wind blown across the field. But again, Travis Bartek there to make the play.
Oh, he had him played perfectly. He was playing well off the left field line, and for Ledbetter, it was the perfect spot to hit it. And unfortunately, Travis Bartek, at least unfortunately for Ledbetter, was right there to make the catch. Score from the Big 12, and this is a surprise. Bottom of the 5th inning, Missouri 5, Texas nothing. Missouri looking to win the series if they win today. They won last night 4-1.
Texas, the number 2 team in the Big 12, behind Oklahoma State. So that'll shake things up. Huskers and A&M both, Kevin, a chance to step up if they can have some success here in the tail end of the season. That fly ball by Ledbetter, the 7th fly ball out that Zach Johnson has served up against Nebraska today. Jake Mullinex, the hitter, trying to see if he can get something started here. Mullinex from Hesperia, California, 6'1", 205. Recently married, I guess married about a year now. He and wife Amber have become Nebraska residents. Great to have Amber on board. As he swings and misses, not sure on the strike right there. And wow, Jackson has the Husker bats and knots right now.
Second strikeout of the day for Zach Jackson. And this one, Mullinex extending the strike zone a little bit outside and a little bit high, but Mullinex and the rest of the Huskers have been off balance all day from the left arm of Zach Jackson, who is perfect with 2 outs here in the 5th.
In talking with Jim Waller, the pitching coach for Texas A&M pregame, he talked about Jackson's attitude. And Kevin, he's just a winner. He loves winning, and he is a winner. He loves to play this game, and we're seeing it right here. Great mechanics, great poise on the hill as he faces John Gross, Husker catcher. Let-up pitch right there. Gross way out in front for strike number 2. 2 outs here. Huskers shut out thus far.
Look at this pitch again. He's just breaking things inside. He's moving it around the plate, and he's been around the plate all day. I don't know how many 0-2 counts we've seen against Husker batters through the first 5 innings today.
Strike 3. Looking is John Gross, and Jackson that is continues to shine here. Texas A&M 4, Nebraska nothing. We'll be back right after this.
What's up, everybody? I'm Deluxe 247. This is my place. Come on in. Now, when people come into your home, you want to have something to take their breath away. Like this. Feel me? Now, this is the lab. Every hit I ever made was tossed up right here. Obviously, you can see that my lifestyle is great. How you doing, buddy?
CokeMusic.com. Set up a studio, make music, play it live. Try to keep it in perspective.
It's Deluxe, son. Deluxe. Deluxe, man. Superstar extraordinaire. Get it right, man.
I wasn't going to school because I was making money stealing cars. Well, I was 10 when I first got involved with drugs. I skipped school because, you know, nobody cared.
When I first got pregnant, school was not important to me, so I dropped out.
Well, if I don't finish school, then I can't go to college. I mean, that's the whole point of what I want to do with my life.
I still need to go to school to make it for myself.
I think I'm happier now. I know I'm happier now.
Back here at Haymarket Park, Hawks Field, and this is a shot from our camera out in right field, the Buck Belzer playground area out there for the youngsters. You can swing from the bars, throw the ball with Dad. I don't know if they have any wiffle balls set up there or not, but it's just great fun for the whole family. What a great place to be. They wanted to make sure that the Buck Belzer honor and tradition and the family was kept in the ballpark, so to speak, and that's part of Haymarket Park right there, Hawks Field, Buck Belzer playground area. Great to see it. Great family fun. Leadoff hitter is Cliff Pennington. Takes the first pitch from Pekarik. Up tall, ball 1. Pennington 0 for 3 on the day. Came in hitting .342 today with 27 RBIs, 4 home runs. He was 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 3 today. So having a problem at the plate against the Huskers this weekend is Cliff Pennington. Big 12 Player of the Week back in February as he looks at a strike from Pekarik. 2-1 now.
See how Pekarik fares. He was a big adrenaline lift for Nebraska last inning when he got out of the inning with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. See if he fares as well here in the 6th.
Fly ball lifted to center field. The college jockey is there, has it measured for out number 1.
Shockey's been busy out in center today. Several putouts today out in center field, and a couple of balls hit his way that either fell in front of him or went over his head, but it's been a busy day in center for Colin Shockey. He made quick work of that fly ball from Pennington.
5 times he has made the putout in the outfield today, and of course then he chased the double off the bat of Boggs back in the 5th inning. Well hit baseball over his head. As Mavrolas will step in. Corey Mavrolas drags one down the line. This is going to be trouble as Pekarik is up with it, and great play as they get Mavrolas going down the line. That is so difficult to make that sort of play. That ball's so close to the line on the runner. Here it is again.
Watch. Great bunt by Mavrolas. Pekarik, the left-hander, has to throw across his body, a low throw, and Ledbetter right there to make the pickup for the 2nd out. That's a great play by Justin Pekarik, who got off the mound quickly and made a solid underhanded flip to Curtis Ledbetter.
And the first baseman needs to give you that target, you know, to the inside of the bag. Very, very important that the pitcher, in this case Pekarik, has an idea where that ball needs to go. So a great job by Ledbetter. Set it out there to make that play. Terrific play. Corey Patton, the hitter. Wow. Let's call him Corey the Hot Bat Patton. 3 for 3 on the day, 1 for 2 last night. There's a ball lifted into right field, and Daniel Bruce is there. So for the first time today, Corey Patton is erased. They go quietly here in the 6th inning. No runs for the Aggies. They lead it 4-0.
Ever wondered what it's really like to be a soldier?
What do you got? I have a sit rep from Alpha Company. CT, ready to be verified. Verify.
Put yourself in the picture with this free video. You'll see over 200 great jobs in the Army and over 180 in the Army Reserve. You'll also see what skills you learn, how you can earn money for college, even what soldiers do in their free time. Call 1-800-984-ARMY now and get this free t-shirt and your free video. Put yourself in the picture and see what it's really like to become an Army of One.
Hold on. Not so fast. These oranges aren't going off to your juice factory to be powdered or concentrated or flavored or sweetened or anything silly like that. So shoo. Scat. Go pick on some other oranges. These ones are ours. Discover Simply Orange. Simply unfooled around with.
It's important to practice the way you play, and in women's lacrosse that means playing with a legal stick. An easy way to tell if your stick is legal is to make sure that you can see the tip of the ball over the sidewall. Two things to remember while passing and catching is one, while catching, make sure that you give with the ball, and while passing, make sure you follow through to your target. Fastest game on 2 feet. That's why it's vital that you must be able to pass and catch on the move. Some things to remember. Always keep your stick up. Give a good target. Keep your eye on the ball and always be ready to catch. In today's game of women's lacrosse, less and less players have a weak hand. I'm right-handed, but in order to get my left hand side as strong as my right, I did double the reps. A good way to get a lot of catches and throws in is by playing wall ball or with a partner. But no matter what you do, it's important to have both sides equally strong. For CSTV Lacrosse, Between the Lines, I'm Shan Sandwich.
Good afternoon, baseball fans. To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better in baseball. You got your tickets, come on in. The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
The friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the lady.
People cook their meals out there and it's like a big tailgate party.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On college sports television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
Activity in the Husker dugout, one of the greatest places to be in any sport is a dugout in baseball. All kinds of great things go on in there. All the stories, all the inside stuff. And Mike Anderson having a little chat with his team, a little inspirational talk here in the bottom of the 6th inning as the Huskers come up. They have yet to pick up a run. They have yet to pick up a hit off Zach Jackson out on the mound. There he is right there, big guy.
He has been perfect today.
He really has been outstanding. We heard about him, hadn't seen him at all before this ball game. We had heard about him, but he is, all of the things we had heard, Kevin, have come true. Great pitcher. Freshman All-American at Louisville. Great career at Louisville, 2 years there at Louisville. 3rd in all-time wins. This year, 2-time Big 12 Pitcher of the Week. And he has done well thus far in the ballgame. Huskers trying to break it up here in the 6th inning. Boyer, Vaughn, and Simakaitis will be the hitters. 3 innings. Jackson has faced 15 hitters, the minimum. Boyer struck out his last time up. Strike one.
That inside corner has been there all day for Zach Jackson, and with the pinpoint control he's exhibited, he's been able to hit it on a consistent basis. Left-handed hitters have had no shot so far against Jackson.
Safe to say, Kevin, he has used all of the plate, all of the zone. You really can't get into any sort of a pattern when Jackson's out there. He uses the whole area of the strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike to Boyer. And whoopsie-doo. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Jesse Boyer. Jesse from Littleton, Colorado. Earlier on in the year up in Minnesota in the tournament up there, he made the all-tournament team, hit .500 in that tournament. Looking for a hit here would be the Huskers first if he gets it. Swung out and missed. Jesse Boyer goes down swinging. 4th K, 4th strikeout for Zach Jackson.
3rd strikeout in a row dating back to last inning, and this pitch not ever in the zone, but Boyer, again, everybody's so off balance, Aiden. Jackson's been around the plate all day. If you've had the reputation all day of being around the plate, you're going to get guys to extend the strike zone on pitches that are kind of in between, or even in that case, well out of the zone.
Well, in talking to Mike Anderson about the hitting side of things, Kevin, he pitched down low to the hitter, and that's Tyler Vaughn. He talks about deciding to hit a pitch. You make a decision. Do you need your pitch here or here? And that's where you decide. Now, on that last swing that we saw by Boyer, I mean, it was a very weak swing. He was undecided about the swing. As there's another strike coming off the arm of Zach Jackson. But you've got to pick that spot, and if that ball's in your spot, then you go hit it. You can't lunge at it or just make a half-hearted attempt. You have to get your pitch. And just like that right there, I mean, that was a takeaway. That was a giveaway right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tyler Vaughn. Tyler, the freshman out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, 6'2", 195.
Jackson's breaking pitch inside the right-handers has become so potent. Nebraska is just flailing away. They have no shot at it right now.
Vaughn wants time. Home plate umpire Patrick Spieler gives it to him as Jackson, look at the composure of this guy. Nothing is bothering him on the mound.
Hey, he's thrown a no-hitter this year. This is old hat for him.
A no-hitter, a 2-hitter, and a 3-hitter. Breaking curveball, and he has Vaughn looking all the way for strikeout number 5.
That was an unbelievable breaking ball from Zach Jackson. Watch the break on this pitch. Curling, oh my, right at the knees. Tyler Vaughn looking at the 4th straight strikeout from Zach Jackson. He's getting better as this game goes on.
That ball started out by the parking lot and came back in. Wow, what a pitch by that young man, Zach Jackson. All 220 pounds of him, 6'5" on the mound. A little bit John Wayne-ish out there. Simakaitis, the next hitter. Joe 0 for 1. He hit a ball back to Jackson back in the 3rd inning. Hit it off his hand, and maybe it might have affected his pitching, but it certainly is not. Of course, Joe, the home run last night that sealed it up for Nebraska in that win last night. Run the count now to 1-1. Joe Simakaitis from St. Louis, Missouri. Tremendous on defense. Has really come up as far as average goes here in his career at Nebraska. And there's a let-up pitch outside by Jackson. Simakaitis, freshman year 236, last year 293, this year 303, hitting just 250 in the Big 12, however. 1 big home run last night, and then 25 RBIs to go with it as Joe has worked the count now 3-1. We told you at the top of the inning here, Jackson has faced the minimum through 5 innings. 3-1 count now. 3-2 count. See if he keeps this intact, Kevin.
That pitch looked like it had tailed outside a little bit. Let's see if we can watch it again here. Jackson's pitch, yeah, that's outside. Now the corner has been called today, but Simakaitis may have helped Jackson out there by swinging at that 3-1 pitch.
3-2, 2 outs. Simakaitis is the hitter, staring at. Great intensity right there. And there's a ground ball to the first baseman. That's Mavrolis. He's up with it. And the side is retired here for the 6th straight time by Zach Jackson. Texas A&M 4, Nebraska nothing.
As children, we learn by playing. In time, the competition gets tougher and the lessons have greater consequences. Then one day, we find ourselves on the field of life, where the game is played for keeps and there are no timeouts. It is the mission of the Southland Conference to unite its student athletes and universities in preparation for that day, by building foundations for success with academic excellence, by teaching discipline and perseverance through athletic competition, and by fostering camaraderie and pride in traditions that will sustain our institutions for generations to come. As we ready our student athletes for real-life experiences as leaders and team players on the field of tomorrow, we take this pause to celebrate them all, as one by one they prepare for the world, each with their own vision, dignity, and integrity, and the pride of being part of a great tradition, the Southland Conference.
The University of Arizona. The place to discover. To create. To experience. To make a difference. The place is right here. The University of Arizona in Tucson.
There's part of the flavor of going to a baseball game right there. We're talking about big flavor, you know, the bag of peanuts, the Coke, whatever else in the way of refreshments comes your way. 4-0 is our score. A&M over Nebraska. Huskers struggling right now, looking for a run, looking for a hit. As we go to the 7th inning, here's Kevin.
Austin Boggs looks at a strike from Justin Pekarik, who came on in the 5th in relief of Phil Sherrick. But the storyline today is Zach Jackson, the left-hander for Texas A&M. Perfect through 6, and the Aggies with a 4-0 lead here in the 7th inning. It'll be Boggs, Stinson, and Infante, 4, 5, and 6 in the Aggie lineup here to face Justin Pekarik in the Aggie half of the 7th inning. And popped up shallow right field. Bruce coming on from right. He'll make the catch for the first out here in the 7th inning.
Talking going on in the outfield on that one. You could see Bruce and Shockey and Mullinex all talking about it. And Bruce took charge on the play. Usually the center fielder is going to be the guy who really calls the play, but that ball hit just enough over into the right field side that Daniel Bruce took control and recorded the out. Not going to have the error like we saw earlier on in the 2nd inning. Second error for the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the ball game.
Craig Stinson behind 0-1. 1 down here, top of the 7th inning. Stinson 1 for 3 today. He singled, drove in a run back in the Aggies' 3-run 5th inning. So Craig Stinson, the catcher, with 1 down. He hit a 2-run homer against the Huskers a year ago in a 5-1 Aggie win. This time, though, not going to have the distance to get out of the ballpark. Won't even get it out of the infield as Mullinax makes the catch for the 2nd out. So 2 up, 2 down for Pekarik and the Huskers here in the 7th inning as Pekarik continues to deal in relief.
Ball a little bit up right there, and the hitter, Stinson, couldn't get the bat on top of the baseball. Hit the bottom 1/3 of the baseball, popped it straight up. Right over to Jake at second base.
2 down, nobody on. John Infante at the plate. He singled, drove in a run back in the 5th. Also reached and scored on an error in the 2nd. He's 1 for 3. 1-1 the count on John Infante. Infante, another one of those guys. As you see Pekarik hitting that outside corner. Another one of those guys who played summer ball with Zach Kroenke, Husker pitcher down at Liberal, Kansas in the Jayhawk League. Hit 202 last summer, but hitting 275 coming into play today. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Infante. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and a very fast top of the 7th inning for Pekarik and the Huskers. Time to stretch in Lincoln. Zach Jackson continues to pitch with a 4-0 lead in a moment.
Invasion of the Fantanas.
Checking in can save its score. Check out Fanta, nice and cold.
Where on earth will they show up next? If you're not having fun, they'll find you.
Waiting for your chance to scream. Fanta helps you beat the steam.
You could be next.
Don't you wanna?
Student athletes have always played a prominent role in Olympic history. Some have gone on to become legends. CSTV's U.S. Olympic Pursuit, the first year-round television series to provide dedicated coverage to all 39 Olympic sports, showcasing America's future Olympic champions. College Sports Television's U.S. Olympic Pursuit, where the pursuit of the gold begins.
Hi, I'm Catherine Tappan with CSTV's 247. Here's what's going on. As the weather gets warmer and the days grow longer, campus life starts to get a lot sweeter. Here are some ways students are keeping busy around the country. Students at Penn State University are moving into the warm months with a delicious way to cool down. The University Creamery offers homemade ice cream treats to tempt your palate and destroy your diet. The ice cream is so fresh, the store's slogan is 4 days from cow to comb. Bill Clinton's favorite flavor? Peachy Paterno. And recently, thousands of students from the University of Texas and Texas A&M gathered in Austin for the 26th annual Spam-orama. The festival, honoring the resilient meat product Spam, consisted of a Spam Jam and hosted contests such as the Collegiate Spam Relay. The Spam cook-off was dominated by a dish dubbed Queer Pork for the Street Pork. And in South Carolina, the title of Mr. USC was recently awarded. The bodybuilding competition, now in its 25th year, hits the pecs of USC's finest. Apparently, good things come in small packages. At 154 pounds, freshman poli-sci major Patrick Kelly was the smallest competitor, but he was cut above the rest. That's what's going on. I'm Catherine Tappan with CSTV's 247.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better in baseball. You got your tickets, come on in. The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
The friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the lady. People cook their meals out there and it's like a big tailgate party.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On College Sports Television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
Now some youngsters leading the 7th inning stretch here at Hawks Field in Lincoln, belting it out as best they can on a beautiful day for baseball, and perhaps a real story developing here in Lincoln this afternoon with the pitching of Zach Jackson, the left-hander from Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, who has been up and down all year in the Big 12, but has had some fantastic outings in those up outings. He's having a great one today. Through 6, he's perfect. He's faced the minimum, no base runners for Nebraska.
And Kevin, he's thrown just 63 pitches through the first 6 innings. That's pretty incredible when you're talking about throwing 10 pitches an inning to get yourself in the position he has. So perfect so far, and we'll see if Colin Chucky can break the pattern here in the bottom of the 7th inning. But the story of the hour, obviously the story of the last couple of hours, Zach Jackson, Texas A&M pitcher.
Shockey, Bruce, and Gordon, the top of the Nebraska order, and their 3rd time through against Zach Jackson. Jackson has not walked the batter. He has struck out 5. He's not allowed a hit. Jackson with a no-hitter to start his A&M career this year against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. That was a 7-inning complete game no-hitter. This is the 7th. And the pitch to Shockey. Looks to bunt, and he fouls it into the glove of Craig Stinson. 0-1.
Kevin, that's what we were talking about during the break. If the Huskers are going to get it done, baseball odds say this would be the inning to go. Third time through, you've seen the guy twice now. Time to make it work, time to make it happen, but we'll see what happens here. He's looking awfully good on that mound.
1 ball and 1 strike to Colin Shockey. Left-handed batters especially have looked helpless today against the left-hander Zach Jackson. That changeup, that curveball, his breaking stuff has been fantastic today. The curve especially he's gotten working in the later innings. And the 1-1. On the outside corner, 1 and 2 to Colin Shockey.
And you just mentioned the operative word also, Kevin, the outside corner. He's been able to work the outside corner to the right-handed hitter, to the left-handed hitter, and paint that edge. It's really been a benefit. And he's getting a call from the home plate umpire, Spieler.
Shockey sends that one to left. Travis Bartek has a bead on it, comes in to make the catch. And there's out number 1 in the 7th inning. Colin Shockey down on a fly ball out to Travis Bartek in left field.
8 fly ball on the day so far. Let's count it up here. 8 fly balls and 5 ground balls. Make it 6. So he's about split them, but there in the early part of the ball game, it was all fly balls. Zach Jackson riding a 4-0 lead here in the 7th.
Daniel Bruce has fouled out twice to the catcher and to the first baseman. 0-2 on the day. You'll see that with every hitter that comes through. Everybody 0 for the day against Zach Jackson.
Wonder if he might try to push one over on the right-hand side here. Zach Jackson, a left-hander. Nope.
Big swing and a miss, and Jackson still popping that fastball in there for a strike.
It was a thought, perhaps, for Daniel Bruce to try to maybe throw one by. Jackson falling off toward the third base side. Fastball up. That's a pitch to a hitter that looks pretty good most of the time. You think, I could just Tommy Hawk this thing right on the ballpark, but usually you miss it or you hit it straight up in the air.
Strike 2 called, and again, those corners, Jackson's been able to move the ball in and out. His movement has been great. His command has been impeccable.
It's the fastball, Kevin, moving right straight in on the right-handed hitter.
4-0 Aggies, bottom of the 7th inning in Lincoln. And the 0-2 to Bruce. Off speed high for a ball 1 and 2 now on Daniel Bruce with Alex Gordon waiting on deck.
Daniel Bruce staring intently out at Jackson, trying to get the measure.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Chopped on the ground. Third baseman Boggs up with it. The throw across in time for the 2nd out. That was a tough little hop at the end of the play there, Aiden. Boggs made it look easy.
Put it right in the basket, Kevin. Usually you try to get those clean and eliminates any sort of problem as far as the throw goes. Getting tangled up with the glove and the jersey and the hands and all that. Didn't happen this time. He got that little goofy little hop and was able to make a good play out of it. Austin Boggs, no relation to Wade, down at third base.
2 down in the 7th, and now Nebraska's #1 hitter and the #1 hitter in the Big 12 up, Alex Gordon. Strike 1. Jackson has started nearly every hitter with strike 1 today.
Fairly consistent in his delivery in terms of starting the hitter out with a strike. He has done that a lot this year. We talked about earlier, he did it 23 times in his no-hitter. Started out that hitter, first pitch strike 23 times.
1-1 on Alex Gordon. Hit a deep fly ball in the 4th and fouled out in the 1st. And that one running inside on Gordon. 2 balls and a strike. Alex Gordon, if he can get on, Curtis Ledbetter waits on deck. 4-0 Aggies lead in the bottom of the 7th inning with Alex Gordon out in front. 2 balls and a strike. Gordon, that one rode in on him, and he fouled it straight back, and the count evens at 2.
That really was more of a self-defensive mechanism more than anything, Kevin, in terms of swing. He's trying to get out of the way, fouled it back off. Had a notion to go ahead and pull the trigger, rip at it. Ball moving up and in, trying to bail out, fouls it off. Alex Gordon has walked 33 times this year, struck out 20. And if you can keep that about an even ratio, that's pretty good. 33-20 is outstanding.
The 2-2 just got a piece of it and just tipped it foul. Jackson nearly got a rarity, a strikeout from Alex Gordon.
The thing that impressed me about that last pitch, Kevin, here it is, the 7th inning, and it looked like Alex was almost a little bit late on the ball. So Jackson continues to rear back and fire it.
The 2-2 to Gordon. Off speed. That one fouled out of play. And the count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Alex looking for that pitch, too. That was the pitch I think maybe he was thinking was going to come. As a happy fan has another souvenir. But he was looking breaking ball that time. He was ready to go with it. Just got under it a little bit too much.
Gordon settles in. The 2-2 from Jackson. Again, fouled away by Gordon. Good at bat developing here. And a good battle between Nebraska's leading hitter Alex Gordon and Zach Jackson, who's throwing a gem here in Lincoln.
I think that was either his 6th or 7th pitch to Alex Gordon. So he has run that. We talked about averaging 10 per inning through 6. Alex has kind of run that up here.
Shockey flied out to left to start this inning, then a ground out to the third baseman Austin Boggs, and now the 2-2 again to Gordon. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gordon goes down on strikes to end the 7th. Jackson, the picture of perfection through 7, 4-0 Aggies.
This Mother's Day, I'm asking my children to put me on their Singular Nation Family Talk plan so that no matter where I am or they are, I can call them for free. I can also call other Singular customers for free, like Henry. They don't know about Henry.
This Mother's Day, add Mom to your Singular Nation Family Talk plan for just $9.99 a month, so she can talk to any Singular customer for free. Why not get her a cool phone, too?
I call it my Don't Forget Mother's Day plan.
$9.99 a line. Another reason Singular fits you best.
A good day to relax on the berm and enjoy a beautiful day of baseball. And perhaps a little history being put together here by the left-hander Zach Jackson for the A&M Aggies. There's the line score, at least the scoring summary, 4-0. The totals on the scoreboard, but the bigger story, Zach Jackson, a perfect game through 7 innings. And a 4-0 lead for Texas A&M over Nebraska, and a pinch hitter for the Aggies to lead off the top of the 8th inning against Justin Pekarik. Senior Brian Bowe gets his first look. And on the first pitch, pops it into shallow right field. Bruce is there by the line, and he makes the catch quickly. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 8th inning. Bowe flies out to right field.
And Justin Pekarik continues to do an outstanding job in relief here on the mound. He came in with a deficit here, trying to get that back. But Justin Pekarik retired. He's faced the minimum now last 3 innings. He's retired the side in the 6th and the 7th, working out here now. And he came in and retired the 3 people that he faced there, Kevin. So he's done a great job thus far, Justin Pekarik.
Travis Bartek followed by Matt Alexander. It's the lower third of the Aggie order here in the 8th. Bartek reached on an error in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, and struck out in the 5th inning. One of the 3 Pekarik strikeout victims today is Bartek, even in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. 4-0 Aggies lead top of the 8th inning from Hawks Field in Lincoln. And the 1-1 from Pekarik. Little dribbler. Gordon there on the grass, throws across for the 2nd out. 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning for Justin Pekarik.
Now batting the 2nd baseman, number 3, Matt Alexander.
Nothing but routine here for Alex Gordon, the 3rd baseman. Beautiful infield grass here at Hawks Field, Haymarket Park. Served that little roller right up into the glove of that young man right there. Great baseball player that he is, Alex Gordon.
Well, lost 8 in the shuffle, and all the hubbub of Zach Jackson's fantastic performance is what Justin Pekarik has done. He has sent down 11 Aggies in a row.
Yep.
Perfect job out of the bullpen today.
Gave up that base hit, the first hitter, and then from that point on, like I said a moment ago, just bing, 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 as he retired the side 6th, 7th, working on the 8th right here. Struck out 2 hitters in the 5th, and then got the ground ball.
Matt Alexander walked in the 4th, has grounded out twice on the infield, so he is 0 for 2 today. And the last hope for the Aggies here in the 8th. 2-0, though, on Matt Alexander. Top of the order, Cliff Pennington, waiting to swing. He's on deck. Justin Pekarik missed all of last year with an elbow injury. He was one of those guys that former Husker coach Dave Van Horn just had such high hopes for. Huge expectations for Justin Pekarik out of Staplehurst, Nebraska. Before the surgery, good, hard fastball in the mid-90s. Still getting it up there at a pretty good clip. 3-1 down to Matt Alexander.
For a young fella who had to have surgery and have a titanium screw put into his elbow to make it all work right, Kevin, he has made a remarkable recovery, and then to come back and pitch as well as he has this year is nothing. It's a little bit short of a miracle, quite frankly. He's just done a great job. Big, tough kid from Staplehurst at the Seward High School. Co-captain here, played American Legion ball. Steve Nesbitt is coach. American Legion coach fires one there.
And Sibakaitis picks it up on a tough hop, throw across in time, and 3 up, 3 down for the Aggies in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Can Jackson continue the perfection? We'll find out next.
It's very important to protect your relationship between you and your sport, because that's who I am right now. You know, I'm an Olympic athlete, and you just got to stay focused on that. Every morning you wake up, you know that your opponents are out there working hard. They want the same thing you do, and it's a matter of who's going to work the hardest and who's going to do it when it counts. If you do take shortcuts, it'll creep up to you, and eventually it will control your game.
What am I? Am I a basketball player who's a psychology major? Or am I a psychology major who's a basketball player? You know, that's the thing about psychology. We tend to overanalyze everything.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Hi, I'm Catherine Tappan with CSTV's 247. Here's what's going on. One of the greatest things about sports is how unpredictable they can be. Here are a few instances that teach us to always expect the unexpected. On its best days, the sportive crew can be an idyllic communion with nature. On its worst, a terrifying onslaught. Dartmouth's crew team was recently attacked by one aggressive otter. The otter charged the coach's launch and boarded the small boat before those on board managed to coax him back into the water. Sounds like the big green heavyweights ought to be more careful. Now here's a boat fit for a heavyweight crew team. Each year, engineering students across the country gather for the annual canoe race. The catch? The canoes are made of concrete. As any Sopranos fan can tell you, cement doesn't float. Special techniques are used to mix the cement and build the boat so it remains buoyant. A safe and legal way to get stoned. And high school senior Candace Parker is getting a jump on her college career. The hoopster, who signed to play for Tennessee in the fall, recently competed in the McDonald's All-American Slam Dunk Contest. Parker beat out a field of men, including 2 players who might be playing in the NBA next season. That's what's going on. I'm Catherine Tappan with CSTV's 247.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better than baseball. You got your tickets, come on in. The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
The friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the lady.
People cook their meals out there, and it's like a big tailgate party.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On college sports television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
I watch all my Virginia lacrosse on CSTV. Yeah!
College wrestling is the best sport.
Go down!
I love guys in unitards and singlets. It's really hot. Yeah.
Few high clouds in Lincoln and high drama in Lincoln as well. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-0 Texas A&M. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Aggies. You see the story for Nebraska. No runs, no hits, base runners. Just 2 errors on that line score for the Huskers. And some anxious folks looking on in the stands here at Hawks Field. We'll see a lot of times when the opponents start to approach history like Zach Jackson is doing here, the crowd begins to turn a little bit. By the 9th inning, they may be rooting on Jackson to finish the deed if he gets there with the perfect game still intact. Right now, though, still cheering on the Huskers.
You bet, Kevin. There are the numbers right there. 4-9-0 for the Aggies and 0-0-2. All those numbers uncharacteristic for Nebraska. You expect them to score, you expect them to hit, and they fielded so well this year. Remember, I think they're 3rd in the Big 12 in fielding, A&M 1st in the Big 12 in fielding. So uncharacteristic numbers for Nebraska all the way across. And for Zach Jackson and his crew, well, those numbers are pretty familiar. 4 runs, 9 hits. When he's on the mound, they do well behind him. He's 8-3 on the year. Losing to Baylor, Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma. Here we go.
Curtis Ledbetter, first pitch swinging, fouls it off, 0-1. It'll be Curtis Ledbetter, Jake Mullinax, John Gross, numbers 4, 5, and 6 in the Husker order. Ledbetter today has flied out to right and flied out to left.
He's 0 for 5 in the series, Curtis Ledbetter. But just to give you an indication how he's done in the last half of the season, before March 35th, hitting .256, no home runs. And there's going to be another strike. Slow curveball.
That breaking pitch in there, Abe, is just fantastic today from Jackson.
But Ledbetter before March 31st, here it is again, the slow curveball. It was slow right at the knees. And that just, as a hitter, that just fooled you totally. I mean, you're not looking for that pitch at all. This guy, you know, he throws BBs most of the time. And all of a sudden, here comes the slow winder. And you just watch it come, and you watch it go, and you watch it for a strike.
The 0-2 outside, 1-2 the count on Curtis Ledbetter.
Ledbetter prior to March 31st, .256. He hadn't hit a home run, drove in 17 runs. After March 31st, a .390 clip, 6 home runs, and 25 runs driven in.
The 1-2. Ledbetter swinging at a pitch at his ankles, knocked himself down, and it's another strikeout for Jackson, his 7th on the afternoon.
Well, I got to say it right here. After watching what happened to Alex Gordon to end the inning, last inning, and now what happens to Curtis Ledbetter right here, this guy is amazing. This guy is right here, Zach Johnson. He is truly amazing here this afternoon. You do that to Gordon and to Ledbetter, you got some moxie going for you.
7 strikeouts, 3 have been looking, 4 swinging. And now Jake Mullinax, one of the strikeout victims in the 5th. And, of course, 0 for 2 today. 1 down in the 8th. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And Jackson is still firing that fastball in there. But the biggest difference today, you see that fastball again and Mullinax swinging through it. The biggest difference has been the curveball, which has been inconsistent this year, has been very consistent and consistently good.
Well,
1-1.
Just misses outside. And, Kevin, he's been able to mix the curveball, too. He comes with the hard curveball, that slow winder we saw to Ledbetter. And then he'll mix in that slider a little bit also. He throws the slider and a good change. So the guy really has it all working today. Right on.
1-1 on Jake Mullinax with John Gross on deck. Baylor beats Kansas State today in game 1 of a doubleheader. Missouri leading Texas in the 8th, 6-0. Pitch down low, 2-1 now on Mullinax. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma battle for position in the first place in the Big 12 Conference. They're tied at 5 in the 11th. 2 balls, 1 strike on Jake Mullinax. And in there for a strike, 2-2 the count with Gross waiting on deck.
That pitch just had handcuffs on it also as Jake stands a little bit closer to the plate anyway, but that ball right on his fist, right on the inside corner, and just handcuffed him. You saw it happen there. He could not move those hands. Simply handcuffed by the pitch.
The 2-2. Low for ball 3. 3-2 now on Mullinax. 1 down in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jackson with a perfect game going.
And Jake's got to be looking strike right here. Got to be looking for a ball to hit, a ball in the strike zone.
And it is a check swing. He went around. Strike 3. Ring him up, says home plate umpire Patrick Spieler. The 2nd out of the inning and the 3rd straight strikeout for Zach Jackson.
Well, the ball's out of the zone, as you said, and Jake was looking to hit a pitch. I think he had his mind made up. I'm going. And just not able to control the bat right there. Remember we talked about Mike Anderson's theory on hitting. You know, you pick that ball up. It's got to be in that spot or you don't go. And he was unsure of the spot. Maybe he had his mind made up, I'm going, because it has to be a strike. It was down low. Would have been ball 4.
Appeal to first, no swing this time, says Chris Koski, and 1-0 on John Gross. He struck out looking in the 5th and grounded to short in the 2nd. 8 strikeouts, no walks for Zach Jackson. 2 out here, bottom of the 8th inning, a 4-0 A&M lead. Bill Schierick on the hook for his first loss of the season if the score holds. But a little distance to go yet. But Jackson in a great groove on the hill. Strike 1, 1-1 to Gross.
Fastball coming in right at the knees. A little bit to the outside part of the plate. John, a good look at it.
Jackson ready, the 1-1. Chopped on the ground, foul down the third base line. 1-2 now on John Gross. Trying to break the spell that Zach Jackson has had over Husker hitters today. And what a performance he has woven together here at Hawks Field. 2 down in the 8th. 4-0 Texas A&M leading. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. The perfect game is intact. He's 3 innings, 3 outs from perfection. 4-0. Texas A&M leads Nebraska.
They never get traded. They never go on strike. It's not about money. It's about passion. College sports television. All college sports, all the time. Finally, a network that brings you the sights, sounds, and excitement of college sports. 24 hours a day. CSTV, because college sports are just better.
I swim the 200. I study sociology. I grind out laps. I cram for tests. I race nationals. I take finals. And when I finish, I'll be ready to start.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
As an archer, I shoot for 6, 7, 8 hours every day. And every time I draw the bow and release, I go for bullseye. And I need to know that that's the work that's going to get me on the medal platform at the games. And that I did it myself. And that I didn't take any shortcuts. Because that's not who I am.
Rugby.
Rugby.
Rugby. Rugby 101.
Maul.
A loose formation around a player who is in possession of the ball.
And has not been brought to ground. Try. Try.
A method of scoring achieved by touching the ball down in the goal area. Scrum.
A tight formation between two opposing teams.
In readiness for the ball.
In readiness for the ball to be put into play.
Blood bin. Blood bin. When the player has blood flowing from a wound and must leave the pitch.
Now you know the lingo?
Now you know the lingo. Now you know the lingo. Use it.
Saturday, May 8th at 7, the USA Rugby Men's Division I Championship.
Well, it's not Wrigley Field, but as close as you can get in Lincoln, Nebraska today. The ballpark, still a fine ballpark to come to, and that Cubs fan enjoying a very well-pitched ball game by Zach Jackson for the A&M Aggies. He is 3 outs away from a perfect game, and the first time that will have ever been done here at Hawks Field, and it's been a long time since Nebraska was held without a hit.
a long time. Kevin goes back to 1981. Jim Maddock from Missouri. The no-hitter against the Huskers. That was way back at the old Belzer ballpark, and never has happened here. So an inning left to go here. Aggies hitting here in the top of the inning. Huskers due up.
And Cliff Pennington swinging from the right side this time. Takes a hack at the Justin Pekarik offering and is down a strike.
It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Nebraska. Jesse Boyer, Tyler Vaughn, and Joe Simakaitis. Again, those are the scheduled hitters. See if Mike will pitch hit for anybody, but 7, 8, 9 due up for the Husker, the bottom third of the order there, and not a base hit, obviously, on many of those guys, as we're talking about the 0 on the board.
Pennington pops it up. Shallow right field. Bruce calls off Mullinax and makes the catch for the first out. Obviously, a lesson learned in the second inning. A lot more communication out there now.
You bet. Exactly. That's the first thing that ran through my mind when that happened. You saw Jake almost like, somebody hit him in the solar plexus. He just ducked and got out of the way. Good call by Daniel Bruce. It gets the out and it avoids any sort of collision, any sort of injury. Good for your ball club.
Mavrolis takes a strike, 0-1. Lost in Jackson's performance. A great job by Justin Pekarik out of the bullpen. He's retired 13 Aggies in a row. Unfortunately, for Nebraska, the damage was done. A 4-0 Aggie lead. And the way Jackson's pitching, 4 runs, looks like about 30 on that scoreboard.
Certainly has the stuff, no doubt about it. He was just as sharp last inning as he was to begin the ball game. So we shall see how it all unfolds in the bottom of the 9th inning here.
1-2 the count on Mavrolis. Singled and scored in the 5th. 1 for 4 today. Kobe, the sophomore out of Abilene, Texas, and that one down the line but foul. And the count will hold at 1-2.
Kevin, mainly in the game of sport, any sport, you play to score the points and win and score as many as you can, get the job done. Somebody better get that ball out of right field over there. But, if they would happen to have a long inning here, it would do nothing but a disservice to your pitcher. So, you want to compete and be effective at the plate and keep it going and hit right and do those things. But, you don't want to have this be too long of an inning. As Mark Johnson was the head coach, said, hey, get up there and swing the ball back. And Mavrolis looks at one and he goes down.
Second out of the inning, Mavrolis, looks like he tipped it just a little bit, goes into the glove of John Gross, and it is a strikeout for Justin Pekarik, his 4th since coming out of the Nebraska pen, and quickly 2 down here in the 9th for Corey Patton. Breaking ball into right field, and Patton with his 4th hit of the day. 4 for 5 now. Corey Patton, what an afternoon he's had in Lincoln.
He is just tearing the cover off the baseball right now. Corey Patton flew out to right field in the 6th, but he's had a hit every other time at bat, and he just rolls this one past Mullinax at second base, and he's down at first with that 4th hit, as we talked about, Kevin. He got benched earlier, as I said, and he's really played well since then. High fly ball.
Austin Boggs with the shallow fly. Shockey in from center to make the catch, and that retires the side. We move to the bottom of the 9th inning. Can Zach Jackson throw a perfect game? We'll find out next.
This time, what do you say we all just sit back, relax, put away our sweeteners and our additives and our what-have-yous and just see what happens? I mean, when it comes to making orange juice, aren't we humans all just amateurs? Discover Simply Orange. Simply unfooled around with.
From New York to California, from the Ivy League to the Big Ten, the mayhem has begun. It has the men jumping and the women stretching beyond their means. These collegiate hopefuls will stick together and let their emotions soar. They'll swing for the fences and do whatever it takes to reach the ultimate destination. Championship mayhem. 21 championships, 9 sports, 1 network. All this month on College Sports TV, #1 in college sports.
The University of Arizona. The place to discover. To create. To experience. To make a difference. The place is right here. The University of Arizona in Tucson.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
To me, it's the only true college sport left.
There's no game better than baseball. You got your tickets, come on in. The relationships that I took from there and that I still have, those are probably my fondest memories. We went on some great trips and played well and just had a lot of fun.
The friends I had there are still my closest friends.
Still get the lady. People cook their meals out there and it's like a big tailgate party.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
Come home to college baseball.
On college sports television.
I've been trying for years to get these television stations to get me on.
Bottom of the ninth inning. Texas A&M 4, Nebraska nothing. There is the story. No hits for Nebraska, and there is the story. Zach Jackson, the left-handed pitcher from Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, the junior at 6'5", 220 pounds, started his career at A&M this season after transferring from Louisville with a no-hitter against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. He is 3 outs from delivering a perfect game against the 19th ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers on their home field.
Kevin, Zach Jackson actually called them to see if he could come down and give it a go. So Jim Lawler, their pitching coach, and Mark Johnson, their head coach, saying, yeah, you can come on down. Great career at Louisville. 2 years there. He was a freshman All-American in 2002. All-Conference, obviously, in that year also. But 17-9, third all-time in wins at Louisville, and now he's right on the brink of history here in Haymarket Park.
It'll be Boyer, Vaughn, and Simakaitis, 7, 8, 9 in the Nebraska lineup to try to break up the perfect game and try to do something to Zach Jackson. So far, he has allowed nothing. No walks, no hits, and certainly no runs. And the first pitch to the left-handed hitting Boyer, strike one for Zach Jackson. Jackson has struck out 4 Huskers in a row. And the pitch right below the knees for a strike. 0-1. 1-1 now on Boyer. Jackson with 9 strikeouts on the day. And no walks. He's got 17 walks now on the year and 86 strikeouts. And the 1-1. Flared foul, 1-2 now to Jesse Boyer.
Kevin, if he would happen to do it here, if he would happen to get the no-hitter, Zach Jackson would be the 10th time in Aggie history a no-hitter has been thrown. Try to look for a perfect game notation. There's no notation as far as perfect games go. We continue to search the record for that. But Texas A&M's been playing baseball since.
Right back to Jackson. Can't find it. The throw over to first, and it's thrown away. The perfect game is by the board. Let's see about the no-hitter. Boyer will try for third. The throw is cut off, and Boyer at third with nobody out in the ninth. It will be a hit for Nebraska, and the no-hitter and the perfect game are by the board.
Well, what a turn of events that certainly brings. A little number right back. Handcuffs Jackson. He doesn't know where it is right there. The ball that probably normally gets handled, but it didn't get handled there. It creates the first base hit for the Huskers, and there goes everything as far as the no-no goes. The Huskers trying to get themselves back into the ball game, Kevin. They're now The focus is to get back in the ballgame. It's always been getting back in the ballgame, but they need to get that hit. And now see if they can have a rally here in the 9th inning.
Boyer is actually held at second with the throw going under the standard, and now a hit batsman. This is where you need the pitching coach of your A&M to go out and settle down Zach Jackson. He's just lost the perfect game and the no-hitter. And now some uncharacteristic problems with control as he plunks Vaughn on the first pitch.
Also the job of the catcher, Craig Stinson, to go out and do the very same thing. He went out there and gave him a little bit of a pat as you saw Vaughn take it right off that left elbow. That's a tough place to take a pitch off of, and he bought one for the team right there.
And now Nebraska looking to rally here in the 9th as the bullpen springs to life for the Aggies. Simakaitis at the plate. Upstairs for a ball. 1-0 to Joe Simakaitis, the top of the order. Colin Shockey waiting on deck, and now a visit to the mound from the first baseman, Kobe Mavrolis, who comes over to give Jackson a swat and keep him going.
Blake Rampy, the right-hander in the bullpen, up now for A&M. Mavrolis just came over to tell Zach Jackson, look, we got a 4-run lead. Just bear down. You're the best. Get these outs and we go home. And that's essentially what he needs to do here. But the Huskers, the fight that they have, they're not going to give it up as easily. As Mike Anderson just had a little conference with Joe Simakaitis, Joe the hero last night with a home run. 3-run dinger last night.
The 1-0. Strike one to Joe Simakaitis. 1-1 the count on Simakaitis, and the pitch
was a little bit up there. Close enough.
That pitch has been called most of the day. Pretty consistent day from Patrick Spieler behind the plate. He's called the corners and he's called the high strikes. 1 ball, 1 strike to Joe Simakaitis. And Joe may have extended the strike zone a little bit there as he swung at a pitch that looked to be a little outside and high.
Pitch was very, very close to where it was the last time, Kevin, that previous pitch. As a slider, however, breaking a little bit into Joe. The previous pitch, a fastball. This one, a slider. And a little bit of break right there at the end.
2 on, nobody out. Bottom of the 9th inning. 2-2 now on Simakaitis. Runner at second is Jesse Boyer. Tyler Vaughn at first base. Nebraska has been quiet all day against Zach Jackson. They have broken through here in the 9th inning with a hit and a hit batsman. Now Simakaitis trying to plate the first Husker run. And the 2-2. Foul back. Rampy really starting to ramp it up in the bullpen as their closer starts to get things going in earnest for the Aggies.
Simakaitis with runners in scoring position this year, hitting .360. He has been a clutch performer with respect to bringing home the runners when they're on base.
The 2-2 again. Breaking ball, fouled back, and a good at-bat here for Joe Simakaitis, really battling Zach Jackson. Fouling back some tough offerings. That one a good breaking pitch that Simakaitis just fouled straight back.
Timing was good on it. His head was right down on the baseball. Good cut at it. Just got a little bit too far under it. Runs it up to 2-2.
Nobody out. Runners at first and second. A 4-0 game. And fouled off again. Colin Shockey waiting on deck. Simakaitis, the hero last night with the 3-run homer in the 7th to give Nebraska a 4-1 victory over A&M. Now before you go expecting another 3-run homer, remember that was only the 2nd of Joe's 3-year career at Nebraska. But a hit here would likely plate Nebraska's first run. And Simakaitis delivers with a shot into the gap, and that's going to drop in there for a base hit. Boyer rounds third. He will score. Simakaitis with an RBI double, and Nebraska's within 3.
'26th RBI on the season for Joe Simakaitis. And he is known to deliver in the clutch. He has done that again this year. He plates Nebraska's first run. The no-hitter went goodbye, and now the shutout goes goodbye as Jim Lawler now will come out, the pitching coach for A&M, to visit with his battery mates. One more pitcher perhaps as we see the gapper by Simakaitis, the outfielders, Infante and Patton out there trying to get a handle on the baseball. Lawler has done his work. Mark Johnson barks out orders to his people, and we get it back to the top of the order.
Still nobody out, and Nebraska looking for a big bottom of the ninth here. Runners at second and third, 1 run in. 4-1 ball game, and Colin Shockey the batter. Rampy should be about ready in the bullpen if the Aggies want to go to their closer. He's got 4 saves on the year and a 1.50 earned run average.
Tying run now at the plate. Shockey
0 for 3 today, and the pitch low for a ball. How long do you go with Zach Jackson, who it looks right now like the air is going out of the balloon?
I think Lawler goes out and tells him, go after this guy, but you got a right-hander coming up in the form of Daniel Bruce. You get this guy out, we may have to go with Rampy, the right-hander. Kevin, we'll see. The count runs 1-1 now to Shockey.
Colin Shockey looking at a pitch right at the knees from Zach Jackson. 2 hits and a run in the inning, along with a big Aggie error. And the 1-1. Shockey, a little flare down that left field line, and that will drop. Foul. Just a few feet foul down that left field line, and the count goes to 1-2.
Travis Bartek giving chase. Everybody's heart kind of in their throat on that one. Everybody here at Hawks Field, Haymarket Park, up on their feet. Thought maybe this one was going to drop. A couple runs come home. Did not happen. Simply a long strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes down to Shockey.
Runner at third is Tyler Vaughn. Simakaitis at second. Nobody down. Bottom of the ninth. 1 run in, and Nebraska trailing by 3. Jackson taking a little more time. The 1-2 to Shockey. Fouled back. Rampy is ready in the bullpen if needed. Nebraska trying to break through before Jackson leaves. Bottom of the ninth inning, nobody out. And Colin Shockey, the Nebraska product, the 1-2. Down low, 2-2. Good stop by Stinson on that low pitch.
This is the pitch you want to go for now. You're looking at strike here. You're looking at a fairly decent pitch in the count. He doesn't want to go full. He's got an open base, however.
Shockey on the ground, backing up at short. Pennington, long throw across the diamond in time, and they trade the out for the run, so 1 run scores as Vaughn comes in on the play. Shockey retired, gives Shockey an RBI, his 21st, and Nebraska within 2 with Daniel Bruce coming up.
Colin Shockey thinking that along those lines, I'm going to get a pitch to hit here. Ball was breaking out and away a little bit from him, and able to get a piece of it. Pretty well hit ball to Pennington at shortstop. The main thing is, Kevin, he put it in play and he got a run home. The ball hit deep enough at shortstop to get that run home. 4-2 is the count now, and Bruce is up. Daniel Bruce, 6 home runs on the year for Daniel Bruce. 1 out here for the Huskers.
4-2 the score. Runner at second held there, and Joe Simakaitis, and Daniel Bruce will stand in, and they will pitch to Bruce with Alex Gordon looming large on deck, and Jackson will stay in to pitch to him. Bruce, first pitch swinging, and he roped that one well foul, but oh, what a cut Daniel Bruce had.
You think his jets weren't charged on that swing? Holy moly. Hope everybody's okay down there.
A laser beam into the crowd off the bat of Daniel Bruce. 0-1 to count. 1 down, bottom of the ninth. Huskers have scored twice here in the inning and threatening with more. And the 0-1 breaking pitch fouled towards the stands, and that's going to reach the berm and out of play. 0-2. Alex Gordon, certainly with home run power, second in the Big 12 with 15 homers. He waits on deck.
Well, Bruce can put a charge into it also, Kevin. Last year he had 6 home runs, the year before 5 as a freshman, and this year 6, so 17 career home runs for Daniel Bruce, junior out of Millard West.
Bruce has been struggling the last few weeks, hitting just .234 over the last few weeks. And now a conversation between Craig Stinson and Zach Jackson. 0-2 the count, 1 down in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Daniel Bruce looking to put the ball in play.
And Kevin, like Simakaitis, who was hitting .360 with runners in scoring position, Daniel Bruce, a .348 clip with runners in scoring position. The average down a little bit here lately, but clutches on. And there's a swing and a miss for Daniel Bruce.
Strikeout number 10 for Zach Jackson as Bruce becomes the second out here in the 9th inning. Earlier today, Mike Anderson talked about Alex Gordon's honor as part of Team USA.
I'll say one of 19 kids selected across the country. We're honored as a program, honored for Alex, honored for his family, honored for the city of Lincoln. Here's a young man that's grown up playing youth baseball in this city with the coaches and everything else. So quite an honor to be coached and perform at this level. So you know, he's going to have an opportunity to have USA on the front of his jersey, and that's a pretty nice honor.
Opportunity here to tie the ball game with 1 swing of the bat. 2 down in the 9th. Strike 1 from Zach Jackson to Alex Gordon.
Alex popped up to the third baseman in the first inning as we take another look here. Pitch just on the corner. You called it, Kevin, earlier. The home plate umpire, Patrick Spieler, giving those corners to the pitcher.
The 0-1, wave and a miss, and he got him out in front on an off-speed pitch. A very good breaking pitch from Jackson.
But Alex, the pop-up in the first flew out to right, and then he had that difficult at-bat in the 7th where I thought, oh, my goodness, when you can do that to Alex Gordon, you got trouble on your hands. And here he is again, trouble on that last swing, down to the count 0-2.
And the 0-2. 1-2 now on Gordon. Simakaitis still out at second. 2 down, though, now in the bottom of the 9th. Huskers with a couple of runs across, but Jackson has rallied, getting Shockey to ground out, Bruce to strike out, and now out in front of Gordon, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jackson finishes with a flourish, the complete game winner, 4-2 for the Texas A&M Aggies as they beat the Huskers at Hawks Field today. Aggies win it 4-2. More from Lincoln, Nebraska in a moment.
Good afternoon, baseball fans.
Me.